I played in a Pokemon Draft League that I didn't enter and didn't build the team for, and somehow I made it to finals. I'm Zand, and I enjoy Pokemon Draft League a lot, and I upload it when I can, but this story was so interesting, I really wanted to share it start to finish, throw all the battles in here, and do some storytelling along the way, so I do hope you enjoy. Anyway, let's set the stage. Nova Blader is who's becoming a good friend of mine, runs some fantastic leagues in his Discord, and offered me a spot in his money tournament called the Summer Brawlfest. Pretty simple premise, everyone pays in $5, the pool gets split among the top 3 players, and then there's a pool phase where coaches draft their 8 Pokemon, and then a single elimination bracket from there. Anybody who gets 2 or more wins moves on to the bracket, and people who have the best records can get a bye depending on how many people enter. The rules were high tier Teras were allowed. There was so much power because there's Tera tax, which is a really cool concept. Lets you use high tier Teras, and the punishment is they're going to be super expensive, but obviously they're going to be super strong. Unfortunately though, he did send me an offer originally to enter, but I've been so swamped with work for so many weeks now. Rest in peace my upload schedule for my other leagues I'm in. So I initially declined Nova, and he reached back out to me after the draft was finished, but before too many battles happened, and showed me a team saying a coach named Kason had to drop. I hesitated. I was still super busy, but the drafting part is usually the part that I struggle the most with, so I looked at the team. It looked fun, it looked easy to build with, and if I lose, I didn't pay in anyway, so no real harm in giving it a shot, right? Something to keep in mind, there were multiple drafting pools, so there's possibility of battling the same Pokemon as our opponents, like on our team and on their team, and there's the possibility of seeing the same Pokemon multiple times on opposing teams, which unfortunately, slight spoilers, we're definitely going to be seeing the same Pokemon many times, at least a couple of them. So let's go over the team real quick. I'll quickly run through what each of the Pokemon does. I'll give it kind of a rating on the likelihood I would draft it on my own, and then we'll go straight into the battles from there. The first Pokemon that the drafter that we took the team from is Tornadus-Therian, a classic round 1 pick. It has fantastic speed, good offenses, and good bulk, along with pretty decent coverage, not the best in the world, but not bad at all. And the original coach actually went ahead and made this a Tera captain, so he skipped a lot of top tier threats, jumped straight down to what he wanted as a fantastic Tera captain, which gives it so many more offensive and defensive options to help deal with opposing teams, especially in 8mon when the answers you have to certain threats are pretty limited. So Tornadus is very flexible in that. The crux of Tornadus is most of its really important moves are pretty inaccurate. Hurricane, Bleak Wind Storm, and Focus Blast are all unreliable at best, and even its pretty common coverage in Heat Wave and its quote-unquote most reliable stab in Air Slash have a non-zero chance of just missing out on what could be crucial damage. I personally only have ever drafted Tornadus-Therian on rain teams to help patch up its accuracy. Otherwise, I just don't really use it myself, but I think Tera will at least help a little bit. Next up, we have Terapagos, one of my absolute favorite Pokemon from the generation. I'm a huge normal type fan, and right next to the Dunsparce, I think Terapagos is up there at the best normal type to come out of Generation 9. I think it's incredibly reliable as a rapid spin user. It may or may not be the only hazard removal we have. It can prevent most forms of setups by being able to tank pretty much any one hit and hit back with its wide array of coverage, as well as being able to set up itself, run support sets, run offensive sets, and can even keep itself alive with Rest Talk, assuming we don't need that much coverage. It's only really held back by its pure normal typing and the fact that it can only run 4 moves per week because it always wants to run more. Incredible Pokemon though. After that, we have Ogerpon Cornerstone, who I've actually used relatively recently. I kind of considered it a fraud when I used it not too long ago, may have been even in the NBBL. I just couldn't make it work between the item restriction and what I would consider like a move slot syndrome. It really just did not fit what I was trying to do with it before. But on this team, the speed tier is amazing. Having a Pokemon with sturdy with so much offense really helps. And that 100% accurate rock move kind of makes up for how much Tornadus threatens to miss the moves that I'm going to click on it. So I do dig it, but I am a little nervous that it's going to be a fraud once again, but we can see if we can make it work. After that, we have Gliscor, another Pokemon I have definitely considered a fraud in the past. I don't think its stats have withstood the test of time, and it's heavily limited on items. Identically to Cornerstone, I don't like Pokemon where I can't be super creative with the items. So you might see some non-toxic orb Gliscor sets, but for the most part, I do understand it is the absolute best item it has because it's the only way it can heal in this generation. At this point, I also feel like most Pokemon in the game get some sort of ice coverage, and they always bring it for Gliscor. So I end up just bringing this Pokemon, doing one thing with it, and then sacking it. But at this point on 8mon, you only have so many substitutes you can bring in a game if you don't like a certain Pokemon's matchup. So we're going to see if we can get creative with it. After that, we have a Pokemon I have not used in forever in Metagross. I adore Metagross. It's one of my all-time favorites. Gen 3 is probably my favorite generation of all time. And Metagross is something I've just ignored for so long for some reason. It got so many good buffs this generation. It's fantastic offensively and defensively. It gets agility to patch up its own speed. It gets just enough coverage, I would say, to do what it wants to do. And honestly, the fact that its stab is so strong and got buffed this gen really helps it out a lot. I love being creative with bulky Pokemon like this. I don't like just running the same sets every week. So I think Metagross is fantastic and should be a cornerstone of the team. After that, to round out our top 6, we have Gouging Fire, a Pokemon that I haven't used since it was brand new to the game. I drafted it right when it came out, and it frustrated me because I feel like with the stats, the typing, and the ability to heal, I really want it to know Bulk Up and Will-O-Wisp, because I don't think Dragon Dance, not being able to set up its physical defense is annoying, and not being able to reliably burn things, having to rely on a Protect type move is also pretty frustrating. So it's a Pokemon for me that I think I haven't been creative enough with. I haven't been able to use and really make it flexible. And in 8mon, that really feels like it's going to force me to go out of my comfort zone with a Pokemon like this. So we'll see if we can make it work. Rounding out the team, our initial drafter definitely was running out of points. So his second Tera captain is Volbeat. He was very, very low at points now. I think there may have been a restriction on the amount of Tera Captain points you could spend, so it also makes sense to have that. And there's so much power in our top 6. I don't really blame him for picking Volbeat as number 7. But of all things, when you're picking a low tier Pokemon, I think Prankster is one of the absolute best abilities you can take on something that doesn't cost very much. So I'm not really complaining. I think there's some matchups where Volbeat makes a lot of sense, and it can actually be better than one of our top 6. Finally, we have Carbink as our final Pokemon. It's another 2-point Titan, but without Tera, I just don't know if it's ever going to get to do much. Especially as a setup piece, I know it does get things like Iron Defense Body Press, it does get Calm Mind, but we have other Pokemon that honestly just do it better. So maybe we can at least use it to set hazards or screens in one game, or maybe it's just our permanent little bench warmer. Overall with the team, the resists are a little bit shaky, and there's 2 Pokemon that are only going to be for niche battles, so I worry our opponents will be able to over prep for our top 6 and kind of ignore everything else. But I do like the team well enough to think that it might be able to do something. Some games that have really bad matchups for a couple of my top 6 Pokemon are going to make it very difficult. So some weeks we're going to have to force Pokemon that don't want to be there, and we're going to have to make up some sets on the fly. But before that, we got to make it through pools. So let's move on to some battles. Okay, welcome to... I think audio's working. Yeah, it looks like it's picking up audio. That's cool. Welcome to the NBBL Summer something money league that... I'm Zand. This is not the best intro in the world. I don't know if these videos are going to make it into an actual video, but I got invited to Novus League. It was a buy-in league. I ended up not entering because I was busy with other stuff, and then he had someone drop out. So it's essentially free entry, and who knows, maybe make a little money. I doubt it. I inherited a team because somebody dropped out, and obviously not super comfortable with the picks. It's some things that I've definitely dropped in recent memory, which is kind of funny. And then we've got like 2 Pokemon I didn't bring were Volbeat and Carbink because they were both absolutely horrible into this matchup. My opponent had like a lot of good options for Carbink, which I guess makes sense. They did not bring... What did they not bring? No Typhlosion, which is totally fine. I did prep for it some. What am I not seeing? No Scizor? Okay. We take those. No Typh, no Scizor. Scizor is like their 3rd round pick, but honestly I get it with Gouging, and yeah, they have a lot of trouble breaking it. Game plan. Lead Terapagos, deal damage. Hope for the best, have bulk and toxic spikes in the back to outlast anything he has left. Good luck, have fun to our opponent Josh. There are 4 total opponents in this. We have to win 2 to make it off of pools and into the, I think, bracket. We see that Azu is the lead of choice. I don't think this 2-shots me with a play rough into an Aqua Jet. So I'm very comfortable going for a Meteor Beam here, I believe. Yeah, I have no switch-ins to Azu otherwise. Probably expected the Gliscor as the lead, which is a totally fair expectation. What else am I forgetting? There's definitely something I need to say. It's probably not important. You all know this set. I've run this set before. I love it. And just the lead Meteor Beam Terapagos set to instantly just do crazy damage. You drop a Meteor Beam on the Azu's face. It does less than half. Wow. And whoa. Oh, I thought you missed. Okay. Goes for the Whirlpool. It is a trapping Azu set. I have a calc around here somewhere. I've just closed every tab I had up. Okay, I have a calc. Oh, it's not AV. I thought it was going to be AV, actually. We do get smacked with the Whirlpool, which is not fun. So it's not AV. Yeah, that did about as expected. So a +1 Starstorm should knock this out. I also kind of want to get a spin up because I don't really know what this wants to go for. I think I will just Starstorm though. Try to get rid of the Azu early. Really hurts anything coming in. I don't think this was complexed. I know Nova has some complex bans. Oh, it's Perish Song. Okay, so probably Protect after this, which is totally fair. That's a cool set. I wonder what it was going for. I guess Gliscor. It's a good way to take care of Gliscor. Anything really, other than Torn, because we don't have a whole lot of pivoting on this team. So it probably protects here. We've burned our herb, which is not great. Does a Rapid Spin KO? Because a Rapid Spin doesn't KO, I'm actually throwing. It should. We can hope. Is protect. That's totally fine. So he has to either double protect or switch out this next turn. This is a really good set. I haven't used this Azu set in forever, but I used to love running this set. I think I used to beat it like a Kyurem white back in the day. So very cool. Yeah. So okay start so far. Maybe we trade 1 for 1. Our like pick 2 with their like pick 5, something like that. I'm just gonna drop another Starstorm. Gets the double. That's a little unfortunate. So not what we like to see. But 30% is 30%, so we will lose our Terapagos immediately with the trade of almost nothing. But we haven't shown our 4th move to our opponent. So I actually think I can go for Dark Pulse here and maybe catch the Sinistra with a lot of damage. So a little bit unfortunate for us, not for our opponent, of course. But I am just going to go for the Dark Pulse. I assume Sinistra switches in here. If it doesn't, Dark Pulse doesn't KO Azu, but that's okay. I don't mind getting a huge chunk of damage off on the Cine. Slimer comes in. I assume this is Cine. It is, so we get a big chunk of damage on it. Don't quite KO once again, but that's okay. And Terapagos goes down, but honestly, big chip on Azu and big chip on Cine is more than enough for me. I kind of want to go ahead and Tera up on the Torn. I do like the Dragon typing, and a knock here is as free as a knock is ever going to get. Alternatively, go for an Ivy Cudgel because our opponent has 0 rock switch ends. I really need to get these things on the same tab. I don't know what I'm doing. You could also go Gliscor, but that just lets this thing Strength Sap relatively for free. So I do like the idea of just dropping a Cudgel, right? What comes in to revenge that? Azu gets bonked. Everything gets bonked. Something might try to come in and set up on me. Azelf is still in the back. I think Torn is probably fine because it outspeeds everything. We can kind of gauge like the Scarfer. I think I told my opponent we're Tera Dragon. I think we are Tera Dragon. I sure hope so. We are indeed Tera Dragon. I'm just gonna knock. I could U-turn, but I think just getting rid of something's item is totally fine here. Hate that we have to put the beat down on our child Sinisha. It does sound like it switched out. I just lost my tab. Or my browser just went over my thing. Okay, Lando comes in. It's the Intimidate. Who would have guessed? We do get our Tera up. And so Lando Earthquake can hit us now, which is not great. But I don't mind going ahead, becoming a dragon type. It's just really good into our opponent. What was their priority? Obviously Ozzy is not Aqua Jet, but it's really good into the other guy. Choice Scarf. Okay, found the Choice Scarf. That's a plus. I don't have notes. I'm gonna get a notepad up. This is the most scuffed like recording I think I've ever had. So Lando, no item, 85%. I guess my switch into this is Gliscor. It's not fantastic, but I am just going to U-turn. Our opponent probably does the same. They could also knock off, get rid of our Toxic Orb, but it's not the end of the world if they do that. Lando, no item. Azu is trapping, and it's like 25%. Whoa! Outrage Lando. Hold on a second. That is terrifying. That is to counter... Did he call the Tera Dragon? Because if so, that is a crazy... that is a crazy read. I could Toxic the Lando. It looks like it might 3-shot me, which is kind of crazy. I'm obviously not looking at the right one in the calc. Yeah, I might. I kind of like a T-Spike here, although... Yeah, I like a free T-Spike here. Outrages again. It does 3-shot me, which is really impressive. It does get confused immediately, which isn't my favorite thing in the world. This could definitely bring in the brain not working right now, the Terapagos, to spin immediately. T-Spikes aren't super relevant here now that I'm looking at it, because Cine is gone, so they really only hit bolts. Because he's got 2 levitators, Trap is likely boots, and then Azu is already so chipped. I will go for a protect. If Terap comes in here, that's okay. We have options, I think. Terapagos is hard mon to deal with, so. Okay, I do get a protect up. Our opponent stays in. So they're confused, may hit themselves. Stone Edges, okay, that's fine. Cine is gone, our Terap is gone. So we're poison healed up. We can't get knocked out by any one move from this guy. So I'm gonna go for actually a Toxic here, which is very funny to run both Toxic and Toxic Spikes. But our back half of our draft is pretty obnoxious bulk, so we might as well take advantage. We can kind of see if this guy's adamant, I guess. Sorry, I'm probably talking a mile a minute, but it's a busy day. So it snapped out of confusion. Just goes for the U-turn. Show me the either the Azelf or the heavy duty boots Terapagos. I would love to see either of those. So yeah, that's pretty standard Jolly Scarf. Michelangelo, the turtle. Tell me your boots. Please tell me your boots and I get free Toxic. You're not boots. Okay, so Toxic is a completely dead turn, which is fine. That's funny though. I can definitely save this for the Landorus. I don't know what I want to bring in on Terapagos. I know it can rapid spin here. We don't have a ghost to prevent that. I probably rapid spins. I don't see why it wouldn't, because these T-Spikes are pretty annoying. I don't think Metagross ever gets knocked out. We might win that 1v1. It depends on Earth Power versus Dark Pulse versus Flamethrower. We do have the annoying Ogerpon. I think as if he rapid spins here, then he's just faster than everybody. But I like the Tornadus play, I think. It's totally fun. I wonder if he's leftovers. So it does Rapid Spin, as expected. That actually did a like sizable chunk. So, did he show leftovers just now? I wasn't paying attention. I don't think so. So we're Dragon type. Ice Beam's doing like a third to us. I don't mind to knock. I also don't mind a Bleak Wind for like half its health. I also don't hate the U-turn into Protect. Yeah, I don't hate the slow pivot here because Ice Beam doesn't do more than a third. Oh, the Meteor Beam set! Oh, that's hilarious. We both brought the same set. Does that count the +1 immediately? This will do like half-ish. Yeah, that doesn't do that much. We're AV, luckily. I guess I should have Bleak Winded there. But we will regen back up. We're not hurting too bad. I could easily go Gliscor here, get my health back up, protect again. I don't think it's Calm Mind, because Calm Mind and Meteor Beam rarely make sense together. So now it's just a matter of pivoting around. We can scout for Ice Beam. I don't think he has a reason to click Ice Beam though, because the one move should just blow us back. There's Starstorm at +1. We'll protect. Protect, most obvious protect in the world, but there's no reason not to. Oh, okay. Goes for a second Meteor Beam. Not scary at all. That you're gonna be +2. Yeah, that probably KOs pretty much everybody except maybe Metagross. We're gonna go in. We're gonna take a lot of damage. I EV'd this Metagross to live most one hits, so it's not gonna appreciate this Meteor Beam very much. Yeah, that hurt a lot. Luckily, that poison has ticked away quite a bit. I don't think Bullet Punch KOs our opponent. Do we need Metagross for anything? Because I think if we Bullet Punch this here, it goes down. Metagross is not really doing a whole lot else other than maybe walling the Azelf. And I don't really want to take any more chip on anything else, so I'm just going to Bullet Punch. It's fine. Okay, he does live. That did more than I expected. I think they might have been a high roll. Flamethrower will easily knock me out. I could have pivoted Torn there, I guess, and pivoted back, but I don't really see much of a reason to. So we trade Metagross for Terapagos. Both of us lost our turtles now. Landorus is slightly chipped, no item. Azumarill is very chipped, kind of useless. Obviously, I can go Gliscor, get T-Spikes back up. The real threats here, I guess, at this point are Azelf and Raging Bolt. I don't hate the Ogerpon here. Kind of see what our opponent's wanting to do. Ivy Cudgel should do a lot to anything. We always live because we're sturdy, so I actually am going to go with that. Jafar comes back in. Kind of makes me want to go back into Gliscor and get T-Spikes back up. Because I did not expect the Landorus to be the switch of choice. So I will actually go back into Gliscor. I definitely could click Stone Edge here. May click U-turn, which would be a little annoying. But I think we get our T-Spikes back up. Unless Raging Bolt comes in. If Raging Bolt comes in, I'm just going to Toxic it and hope we live a Draco. We are like max def, so we should. Okay, U-turns. That's fine. We'll get all our health back. It has to be a pretty speedy Raging Bolt to outrun us. So, not the end of the world. And Azelf? Does Azelf get Ice Beam? I always forget. I think it only gets Ice Punch, right? Yeah, it only gets Ice Punch, so not as threatening. If it's Taunt Azelf, it fully walls us, but don't tell our opponent. I should keep up with KOs. So, Azu. Oh, Azu comes in. Azu KOs. Crap. I can go back to this later. If it's last move Ice Beam, is that a problem? Gliscor Earthquake's doing like a good chunk unless it's Fizz Def. We might KO. I mean, let's just check Ice Beam, because I have no idea what this fourth move is. Yeah, it shouldn't two-shot us with Ice Beam, which is funny. I kind of like just knocking it out, but I also really like that Toxic Spike for the Raging Bolt specifically. If it's Boots, Raging Bolt, I'm going to be a little annoyed, but I do like that T-Spike for the Bolt. It is Whirlpool, it will trap us, which is fine. It does minimal damage, and that's going to counteract our Poison Orb, so we're not going to get any healing. But Earthquake should two-shot this. It's going to be really annoying, for sure, because it could double protect again, and Earthquake may not two-shot. Let's find out. Okay, Aqua Jet is the other move. Does very little because I don't know that it's huge power. So it will Earthquake. It would have knocked it out last turn, but it didn't this turn, which is fine. I could protect here and get a little bit of health back. I don't hate that play, because this is our Landorus answer. Actually, no, there's no getting health back because because it's Whirlpooled me. So if I protected, that's potentially setting me up to die to Pair Song. So let's not do that. It's pretty obvious I'm clicking Earthquake again here. I guess I could have clicked Toxic, but that hits Landorus and a Zelf on switch in. But not the worst thing in the world, I guess. What's our win con at this point? So let me see. Gliscor, KO'd, Grab, and Azu. There, Azu, KO'd, Grab. There, Trap, KO'd. Metagross. Stinny's still alive. I didn't realize. I thought I knocked it out with a knockoff earlier. Barry. Lum. Oh, dude, that's such a smart play. Does it live Earthquake? I know it's gonna do nothing. There's no way. It does like 10%. So this is... it gave me a KO, I suppose. That's a cool tech on the Lumberry, but that did just give me some healing back, so not complaining. I actually forgot that thing was still alive. Ozzy's gone, Azelf comes in. Obviously I can Toxic. I have the Torn as a switch in, but Torn doesn't really want to eat an Ice Punch as much as Gliscor does. Lead Azelf with Ice Punch. Might KO Gliscor from here. I kind of like the Gouging switch in. I don't really have a whole lot for this Azelf left at this point. Oops. Probably should have planned for that a little better. It has to be max physical attack to do a ton to me. So I actually think I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to go for the Toxic. Mystical Power. Okay. So it doesn't do very much. Gets a attack raise. I don't remember if that is guaranteed. So we get a Toxic up. Zelf. I keep looking at the lead set, which is not what I'm looking for. Mystical Power. I will just protect, because if it's setting up with Mystical Power, it's not setting up with anything else, which is fine. Is it Scarf? Do you think this is Scarf? I kinda doubt it. So +1 Mystical Power definitely doesn't knock me out. I can switch in the Gouging, the Tornadus here. Yeah, I don't hate the Tornadus switch in here. So we are AV. This will hurt, depending on item, of course. Does drop another one. Are you Scarf Mystical Power? That would be kind of a crazy set, because you're just going to be stacking damage. I think you might be. I have this odd feeling. So I will go for the knockoff. It should always KO. I mean, if it's Colbur, that's fine. I could go for U-turn, I guess, but that won't KO. So I will just go for knock. Let's see if you're Scarf. You're not Scarf. You're not Colbur. It doesn't knock out, so we're gonna lose Torn, which is not great. It's E-Belt, okay. And you miss, I'm sorry. That would have definitely KO'd me. That is really unfortunate. I don't even know the accuracy on that move, if we're being honest with ourselves. 90%, okay, I'm sorry. That is an unfortunate miss. So Torn, or no, that was Poison. That was Gliscor. So Jafar comes back in. I am just gonna U-turn. What do we have left to deal with? We have this, and we have Raging Bolt. I like Gliscor because I don't see what our opponent does to it. If their last move is Earthquake, as I assume it is, we should 1v1. Drops Stone Edge. Does hurt a lot. We'll Poison Heal. Obviously, we'll Protect. I'm the super annoying Gliscor set, I know, but it's doing what I needed to do. So we will Protect. And we see the Landorus. What does it decide to do? It decides to use Stone Edge again. So it's just spamming Stone Edge, hoping to KO us with a crit or maybe even a high roll here. I'm going to go for a Toxic, because we also have the Spiky Shields on our Ogerpon to be super annoying, and the Burning Bulwark on our Gouging Fire. So we're just like the most annoying Pokemon of all time. I'm sure it's pretty tilting. So if I'm not mistaken, Gliscor has gotten every KO in this match for us so far, which is kind of funny. And their Terapagos got 1 KO and their Azu got 1 KO. I know. I hate it. I hate running a strat like this. It's fairly degenerate, but it was the best strat into you, so apologies. That Outrage is a crazy tech because does this team have a fairy? I don't know that this team has a natural. Well, the fairy is Carbink, so yeah. Outrage is actually a really strong move to run into this team. Do I want a second T-Spike up for the Raging Bolt? I guess so. Might as well. We're not doing anything else right now. Outrage knocks us low. We'll get a second T-Spike up because we got nothing better to do. Earthquake doesn't do anything. And we got to think about how we want to close out this game, what we want in on the Raging Bolt here shortly. I don't really hate sacking Gouging Fire, as weird as that sounds, because it's not like it's doing a whole lot into the Bolt anyway. But I would like Ogerpon to be in on the Bolt because I can Encore it and end the game like that. So if we can get a double down, as weird as that is, at the same time with the Raging Bolt, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I don't remember if he's forced into Outrage at this point or not. Yeah, so I think Ogerpon might be our win condition. I mean, if Gouging's alive, we could potentially lose to Tera Dark, which I don't like. So I think I will just go for the, the off Earthquake, let him KO me, hopefully. Okay, it does KO me, that's good. So Lando KOs Gliscor. Gliscor KOs Landorus. So if nothing else, we got a 5 KO Gliscor. And I will go into Ogerpon. Raging Bolt cannot knock us out in 1. So we'll go for the Leech Seed first. It does get badly poisoned, which is good for us. We'll go for the Leech Seed. I don't know that there's a Raging Bolt set that wins here, because we have the Leech Seed, we have the Burning Bulwark, Spiky Shield. Tornadus can do a lot of damage in level 1, so I think we're in good shape. I think we do win this first game. Does Tera Dark. I think that gives it a boosted Snarl, lets it hit Ghost type, Torn T. Not sure what else it does. I guess it makes it immune to any kind of Volbeat prankster. Gives it boosted Snarl. We get our Leech Seed up, which is pretty good. And it is Calm Mind, so we should win the game right here, unless it's Mental Herb. Which is fine with me. If we get the Toxic to get the KO, then that's 6 kills for Gliscor, which is hilarious. I really want to see that, actually. So we are going to Encore that Calm Mind. The only way to outspeed me is the Thunderclap. So no worries there. Is stuck in a Calm Mind. So we do win the game. Do I Ivy Cudgel here, or do I want the kill on Gliscor? Actually, yeah, one Ivy Cudgel here, and the Gliscor should get the KO. So that's cool. If these videos go up, they might go up as like a movie. They might go up all at once. So it's fine. We'll drop an Ivy Cudgel on Raging Bolt's forehead. So we will smack it, and I think the Toxic's gonna get the KO, and Gliscor is going to win, get all 6 KOs on our side. Which is really funny, because it's the last Pokemon I put on this team, because I didn't think it had a good matchup, but it just happened to work out perfectly into the Lando. Should get Leech Seed here. And then last but not least, we get the Toxic. And that's game. All right, GG's to GBJosh. I think this was a really well-played game on both sides. I think he had some really cool sets. The Trapping Azu immediately really caught me off guard. Got rid of probably what's normally going to be my biggest win condition. But we ended up making that Dark Pulse read, so Cine wasn't an issue later in the game, and they worked out. So that's 1-0. We've got 3 more pool games. If we win 1 more, we make it onto the bracket. And yeah, we'll keep it going. All right, we're back for Nova's Money League, essentially what I'm calling it. It's like a summer something fest. I made the team in about 10 minutes. It's really bad, and our opponent is the worst nightmare matchup, which is the Tera Flying Raging Bolt, which I honestly didn't really expect, because we have an Ogerpon that has a big rock move. So I guess it's for everything else, though, because his team's very weak to Earthquake. So Tera Flying makes a lot of sense here. Also, the Tera Water Belly Bolt. Only one of them can Tera, which is nice. So not hating that, but our team is just such a mess. I don't think it's very good. So we'll see what happens. I see Tinglu is there. I see no Sylveon, which I did prep a little bit for with the Tera Poison, so that feels a little bit bad. And then what else got left behind? Spectre is here. No Tentacruel. I could have brought T-Spikes. Well, that's just rude. What if I wanted to bring T-Spikes? My dedicated lead is Gliscor because it has Taunt and it outruns everything that could be annoying. Could my opponent lead like Tera Water, Scald, Belly Bolt, and ruin my day? Yeah, probably, but it's fine. It's early. I got a lot of battles to knock out. I'm trying to stay positive. Oh, actually, 1 positive. There's 4 total battles here. We only need to win 2 to move on to bracket. So I'm not super concerned if we don't. Okay, are you Balloon? I need to pay attention. You're not Balloon. So I am just gonna drop an EQ immediately. You can knock off my Toxic Orb if you want. I really like this isn't a Stolly set. It's more of like a setup set. So I don't mind that. I picked the most annoying music, I feel like. Actually, it's not bad. It's pretty catchy. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about today. So we do drop an EQ on the Blaziken. Probably get it down to 1 health, yeah. Focus Sash makes perfect sense. Maybe did not have Defog. Goes for the SD. So I could switch in Metagross here and save Gliscor's full health. If this isn't Flare Blitz, though, I don't think it KOs me. Yeah, Adamant Life Orb. It's not Life Orb. So, I mean, Flare Blitz KOs me without Life Orb at Adamant. And it probably is Adamant. So I could switch in Metagross here, burn my Sash now. But I kind of like that to slow down the Spectre later, too. I don't know. Gliscor's pretty good into the team. Resist the Raging Bolt. Can 1v1 the Corviknight pretty effectively. It is my only taunt user because I got rid of taunt on Ogerpon. So I don't hate going into Metagross, tanking the Flare Blitz with my Sash, but honestly, I don't trust it. I feel like I'm going to get Flare Blitz burned if I do that, so I'm just going to go for Knock. Alright, Flare Blitz. So we just trade 1 for 1. That's fine. I could have went Metagross and saved Gliscor, but hey, it is what it is. So, okay. Blaziken. So that's twice now people have led something I absolutely did not expect. Good on them. We have our Sash. We have our Terapagos that can come in. We have our Ogerpon that can come in. Okay, we got rid of probably the biggest threat on the team. There's a lot of threats in this team, so maybe not. And they got rid of our Gliscor. So that means Ting-Lu probably comes in here, right? I could go ahead and get my Tera, but Tera Poison's not even good in this matchup anymore because there's no Sylveon. Corviknight could be really annoying too. I kind of like the Ogerpon. I also kind of like the Gouging Fire. But if Ting-Lu comes in, then I'm just sad. So I'm going to go Ogerpon. I have precious little to deal with Ting-Lu at this point. Just in general. I don't know who this is. It is the Corviknight, so kind of worst case scenario for us. I mean, how important is Metagross' Sash now that Blaziken is gone? What's gonna one-shot me? Ting-Lu might, but I'm not doing anything to Ting-Lu anyway. I don't know, it's important for Spectre. I think I'm gonna go into the Gouging here. Yeah, why not? Did not expect the Corviknight to come in, but I understand. If this thing starts setting up iron defenses, it's going to be a little awkward because we don't have a whole lot of special offense in the tank, but we can make it work. Kind of hoping to get a knockoff on the Corviknight too. Okay, it's just body press. Does precious little. I was going to be leftovers. I think I can go for... I feel like that Ting-Lu is so likely to come in. I think I can Scale Shot for some chip on it. Because I just feel like that's the most obvious switch in. So I don't mind this play. Because chip is chip. And I think that's our strongest attack into the Ting-Lu. Doing a whopping 26 to 32% with the loaded dice. 4 hits. So actually not bad for Ting-Lu. And obviously we threaten this with Heat Crash, so I don't anticipate it to stay in, yeah. Opponent could expect... Yeah, there's Ting-Lu, nice. So, I feel like pretty good about our play. Scale Shot does land. Yeah, about that 26 to 32%. I think this might be a Fizz-Def Ting-Lu. Call it a hunch. So I think our Sash on Metagross might just be useless. We get the 5 hits. We get our speed boost, which is irrelevant because we're forced to switch out anyway. And Ting-Lu is leftovers, of course. Okay, this thing is going to be an absolute headache. So yeah, I should have sacked Metagross earlier and saved Gliscor. That was a dumb play on my part. I think we're just going to go balls to the wall offense and just go into Ogerpon and see what happens. Because I don't think this 2-shots Ogerpon. If it's 0 attack investment, it never 2-shots us. Otherwise it does, so. What a scuff game, man. I saw all the bulk and proceeded to throw away my best answer into all of it with the Gliscor, so I don't know what I'm thinking. It's probably fine though. Like I said, we lose this one, we got 2 more. We're okay. Okay, Stealth Rock goes up, so this loses its sturdy technically, and Metagross' Sash is now useless, so I should have just sacked it earlier. That's on me. But hey. I didn't realize how good Gliscor was into this matchup. Even though our set was kind of janky with Scale Shot. Alright, so switches out. I'm going for an SD because nothing really wants to take a +2 rock move. Corviknight comes in, obviously threatens me with a body press. Do I KO Do I 2-hit KO if this is max defense? I do. So that's cool. So I will just smack it with a cudgel. Maybe Trailblaze afterward. Yeah, body press is gonna hurt upwards of 70%, which leads us to be easily revenged by either Spectrier or Raging Bolt, which is not great. But it's okay. We'll make it work, I hope. What's our win con? Our win con is Gouging Fire once Ting Lu is dead or almost dead. How do we kill Ting Lu? Great question. Alright, Ivy Cudgel does big numbers. U-turns to break my sturdy, and then something like Spectrier comes in here, but I don't know that it KOs me. That U-turn did hurt though. So it doesn't KO me without being Specs. So, or maybe like Lorb. Lorb might KO me. It does 226 max. So we can kind of see. Stupid Horse comes in, that very fair name. So it's a roll. If it's Life Orb, I'm gonna hit Trailblaze. We're gonna hope for the best. Oh, this also breaks my Tera shell on Terapagos, so maybe letting rocks go up was not in my best interest. So I'm gonna hit Trailblaze. If we live, we are in a really good position to, I don't want to say sweep, but we're in a pretty good position. Shadow Ball comes out, KOs us. Do you take Life Orb Chip? No, so you're just Specs. That's cool. So we'll go to Terapagos for free. So I didn't bring any Scarfers for this, which is probably ill-advised. We don't get our Tera Shell, which is fine. I could just click Dark Pulse, I suppose. I don't know what wants to come in, but I can just smack it with a Star Storm after the fact. I could have Rapid Spun, but I don't know. It's not that important to make a read here in case it's like Spell Tag, I guess. So it is Shadow Ball. Yeah, Spell Tag would never have KO'd me, so it has to be Specs. Unless it's like Modest. But if you're Modest into Tornadus, then that's good for me, because then I outrun it. So I kind of messed up. I think I over-prepped for Sylveon a little bit. And Tentacruel a little bit. And didn't think about the rest of the team as much. So this is probably an L, but hey, it's all good. We're here to have fun. We took over our team for somebody else, so very low stakes, I would say. The Pressure Corviknight comes in. I only just realized it's Pressure. We do take a KO. We don't get 6-0'd, which is always, well, Blaze can blew itself up, so we didn't get 5-0'd. Even better. But I think our odds of winning this game very low at this point, because we've lost our main Ting Lu breaker. Corviknight's gone. Both Terra Caps are still up for our opponent. Terra Poison Tornadus is kind of just cheeks here. Like, it does not do much. We don't have coverage for anything. 2 other 4 Pokemon resist our stab. It's just a bad bring in general, I think. Specifically to counter Sylveon that didn't even show up. Ting Lu comes in. I will gladly take damage on you, my friend, because you are Fizz Death. So this Tera Starstorm is going to do not 0. I guess I could spin for Metagross, but I don't know if it's super relevant. And I want the damage because our win con is not Metagross. Although Metagross is our best way to KO Spectrier if we can get it to clear something else without taking damage. Then Spectrier comes in thinking it one-shots us and doesn't. So, okay, that does big numbers, actually. We get Ruinated. But as long as this thing's alive at all, I'm feeling okay. Do we die to an Earthquake? Need to get rid of 1 health on us, so we're not, like, our ability doesn't show. Shouldn't die to an Earthquake. I will spin the rocks. Why not? I changed my mind immediately. I think our opponent doesn't really want Tinglu to get super weak here, I would think. So I could switch it out into Torn this next turn. Assuming we get hit with either an EQ or Ruination here when I get rid of Rocks. Switch in Torn. Hopefully we're healthy enough to take Rocks again. You have to be at like 40 something HP for that, right? We have 13%. Yeah, we need to be at like 45 or higher to come back in on Rocks, which is fine with me. There's a decent chance Spectre comes in here, which would be annoying. See it. Yep, good call. Good call, you got me good. Caught the rapid spin. I don't think this one-shots Terapagos with anything. Choice Specs, Dark Pulse does not KO me. Dark Pulse doesn't KO you back. I'm gonna go into Torn though. I know I'll take Rocks. Torn's just useless. Torn is so bad in this game. I'm just gonna throw it out and see what happens. Spec Shadow Ball doesn't 2-hit KOS, and if my opponent click Shadow Ball into Terapagos, they're crazy. Snarl, okay. That's not annoying at all. Oh, my Spit F dropped. It was just fast. I was like, did I not lose Spit F there? I need damage on you. I'm gonna go for a probably -2 Bleak Wind if they stay in. Both electric types in the back just can't wait to come in, I'm sure. I guess I could have dropped a Sludge Bomb, try to get a poison. I don't love that play though. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking with this team. It's not very good. What comes in? Black Bolt, Sun. Okay. The potential Tera flying. Oh, booster? Are you booster? You have to be booster special attack, right? Yeah. So that's cool. Raging Bolt. Modest. Yeah, this thing hurts a little bit. It actually probably doesn't KO us though. We do land the Bleak Wind. Do absolutely nothing. Oh man. What a mess. I could U-turn. I could hard switch Metagross in because it's not really doing anything otherwise. I mean, yeah, I want health back on Torn, I guess. Oh, what a mess of a game. I don't know why. Belly Bolt, anytime I go against a team with a Belly Bolt, I just get destroyed. So, not a whole lot to do. If you want to skip to the next one, if all these go up at once, then I wouldn't blame you at all for it. Just assume it's going to be like a 4-0 loss. We'll switch Torn out. We don't know if our opponent terastallized or not. I don't know if they would at this point. I think the Water Belly almost looks better. But who knows? They go for the Discharge, do massive numbers, and get the first turn Tera, which, you know, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to play Bullet Punch, get my 2% chip, and then maybe Terapagos takes one. Discharges again. Discharge is an annoying move, man. Like you building a Pokemon to do damage and then running a move that intentionally does less damage to play with paralysis is it's not my favorite thing in the world. I think I go Gouging and I sub. Or I go Terapagos and I spin. Wow, this team is really weak to rocks, huh? Everything's either weak to rocks or has like a sturdy-esque ability. It's kind of crazy. I like the Gouging. It's good. Tinglu can come in and be annoying. See, are you Draco or Dragon Pulse also? Yeah, this team should make it into. I think this opponent's already made it through pools, and definitely deserves to. This is a super obnoxious team to prep and build for. Even if I had more time than I do, I feel like I would not have been able to prep properly. to Buford. So is that the... It is the belly. So this is why we brought sub. I think it only breaks sub with like a Tera Water Scald, so it has to Tera here. Because that I will just Scale Shot. I think, do we proc Electromorphosis with every hit? Pop the balloon, which is cool. Apparently it may not be Electromorphosis. So we get the 5 hits, and Buford decides it wants to go for... Oh, we gotta wait for all the animations. Reflect, okay. So dual screens, or at least reflect Belly Bolt. And we'll go for another Scale Shot. It's gonna do half damage. If you're slack off, then I hate everything. Hard switches, probably Tinglu. This is gonna be like laughable damage. I might not do more than leftovers heals. So yeah. That's just comical, honestly. Alright, we only get the 4 hits this time, which is irrelevant, because we were doing about 3 damage per hit anyway. So what's our out? Our out is getting +1 with Terapagos, with this being weak enough that we can beat it with like a crit Tera Starstorm, and then also being able to live a Thunderclap, which is not likely. Yeah, and I think our opponent well knows that speed on Terapagos is our win con, which is fine. Sad to see. When I took over this team, I shared with some friends, and one of them said that Gouging Fire, other than Gouging Fire, so it seemed like a really good team. So feeling that a little bit in this matchup, because it definitely, I needed a speedy breaker with Earthquake. But I mean, what really breaks Team League anyway, though, right? Sub breaks. I can sub again to try to burn a turn of Reflect, but then he's just getting more health back. But if Reflect runs out, that's better for us. Still 2 turns of Reflect either way. We don't have another physical attacker in the back, so I think just going for damage is fine. Infinite Scale Shots. Oh, big crit, big crit. Okay, we're back in there. I mean, we could go Terapagos and go for the Dark Pulse and try to make a late game read. But Horn with Bleak Wind also makes sense. Yeah, so Earthquake definitely gonna get rid of Gouging Fire, which is fine. So this is hard, because I think play is Terapagos. I need the health on Terapagos though, so I think play is Torn Bleak Wind, unfortunately. We'll play the 80% game and see what happens, because at this point Terapagos can't get a rapid spin off if this stays in, and then have enough health for the Thunderclap. So yeah, we're just gonna go for the Bleak Wind. It should KO, I think. I don't know, Tinglu's kind of a monster. Opponent could definitely switch into either of their electric types at this point, which I will just Sludge Bomb and then hope that I can get Terapagos set up on them. Tinglu lives, which, you know, who's really surprised here? And Earthquake probably KOs us in return. It does. Man. This is the Mon you really love to hate, huh? Did Reflect end here? Because Rapid Spin could KO it if Reflect ended. Is it like play Belly Bolt? Okay, it is not like play Belly Bolt. So Terapagos into the Tinglu. Yeah, we're gonna hope Rapid Spin KOs, and if it doesn't, Tinglu just wins, but that's fine, honestly. It looks like a roll, which is really, really, really funny. But we have to have the speed to win. If we don't get the speed, we lose to Spectre here anyway. So I'm gonna go for the spin. We're just gonna hope for the best. Okay, so you're just gonna hard switch into Spectre and ruin my day. Okay, that's actually the best way to get a guaranteed win, so I totally agree. All right, GG's to our opponent. Definitely made a lot of missteps. I think Gliscor would have made this game infinitely easier. Not to say we would have won if we had Gliscor up, but it would have definitely helped a lot into that Tinglu that became a monster as soon as we let it. We'll Dark Pulse, it'll do no damage, and then we'll die to the next Snarl. Which honestly, great brings. Spectre totally broken Mon that I probably would have taken had I done the draft. So, no surprises there. I think the only Mon better than it, and yeah, better is, you know, relative term, is a Dragapult. So, surprisingly, I don't think we run into any of those in this pool. We are 1-1 now. We got to win one more out of our next 2 games. I think I'm doing them back to back, so it's gonna be no pressure if we lose the next one. So we'll see what happens. All right, and we are just recording this for perpetuity, I guess, in case we don't get our stats. We are playing against Steve. Steve has a scary team. I prepped for about 15 minutes. We don't have a Carbink and we don't have a Gliscor. They both looked horrible into rain. Our team has 0 water resists. I don't know. This is like the worst matchup this team could have seen. They don't have Dash Bun and they don't have Mamoswine, which is actually really good news for Tera Grass Tornadus. Lead is, unsurprisingly, dedicated lead Terapagos. Should always 1v1 Glamora. Meteor Beam does a big chunk, shouldn't KO. And then we Rapid Spin until our opponent switches, or until we can Earth Power it, if he lets me get away with no hazards being up. Good luck, have fun to Steve. These videos almost certainly don't make it onto the channel, but I record them because it helps me keep up with differential and kill tracking in case both of us forget to do it. So it's nice. Engineer is the lead. It is the Glim. Totally fine with me. My opponent hopefully knows about the Meteor Beam set. I imagine most people do at this point. I don't care because it pops Sash. It is Toxic Glim and it's fast Glim. It's max speed. So I'm definitely gonna Rapid Spin after this. We'll just drop our Meteor Beam. Hopefully don't miss. Missing turn 1 would be very unfortunate. But we do have Rapid Spin at least to get our speed up. We don't miss. We do big damage. And then I think we can guarantee... Okay, we crit straight down to Sash. So spin is absolutely free here, which is great news for us. This gets rid of one of the things that can beat Tornadus. Unfortunately, our Tornadus is all moves that miss a lot, or Grass Knot. And Grass Knot is pretty irrelevant in this matchup. I don't know how much it does to Bass. How much does Grass Knot do to, sorry, not Bass, Barraskewda? Actually, it does, it KOs it. Never mind. Barraskewda is really weak, even though it's not heavy at all. They're really, frail. It's not weak, of course, because it's Tera Water in the rain. It's going to be a monster. Unfortunately, I don't know. I guess we KO Pelipper with Starstorm now. We can hope. So our opponent definitely has every right to set up hazards here, but thanks to that crit, our Rapid Spin guaranteed KOs, which is cool. Once again, we're throwing away our only removal immediately as a lead set, which is very skillful on our part. Okay, switch out the Glamora, which is honestly probably a good play. Multi comes in. Is this Thundy? No, it is Big Bridge. Do negative damage with that Rapid Spin. Are you Stamina? You are Stamina. Our Chaludon. Earth Power should hurt a lot. Earth Power should KO you if you're not AV, actually. So we're just gonna smack you with it. Hope for the best. That's all this battle is. If we get in, we're fine. We lose this one, we have to win our next one and not drown in pools, and the next matchup may be even worse than this one. So we're gonna see how it goes. It looks like our opponent might be having fun doubling back and forth to prevent us from doing anything while the Toxic slowly kills us, which is a very fun way to play. I really enjoy playing against it. Obviously we KO this, and he doesn't want to lose his Rain. Starstorm to our Caledon is doing half, so I'm just gonna click the Starstorm. Yeah, okay. Well, goodbye Pelipper unless you're like AV. Yeah, goodbye Pelipper. Okay, Rain is very limited now. Barraskewda has every ability to come in. We drop to Barraskewda, no doubt. But we can permanently like reset the Rain after this. We just gotta pick a sack. So does this want a Tera? Does this KO everything that I have? Probably. Wow, this guy's not messing around. Tera Water Liquidation, 2 shots, defensive Gouging Fire, huh? That's cool. Love to see that. Yeah, I can't go into anything here without it dying. I guess I could technically go Volbeat, but not in Rain. Is there any reason to save Terap? I guess I get a spin up later. What's bad? What's bad into what he has left? Because we're definitely going to go Volbeat after this and set the sun. So I want to keep Gouging. I think Ogre has a good matchup. I think I'm just going to let this go down. Oh, flip turns, doesn't Tera. Do we live? We don't live. That's okay. Does that confirm banned? No, well, no, that flip turn did like 70% no matter what. It's kind of nuts. Okay, goodbye Terapagos. Multi comes back in. The big bridge. Fine with me. Do I want to get rid of his Rain? Sort of. Yeah, what else is Volbeat doing? This also gives us a boost on Gouging, which is kind of cool. What's up, Volbeat? I never thought I'd use you. Get the sun out here. Probably U-turn after this. If he tries to like do something weird, I don't know if our Caledon can set up at all. But if he tries to do something weird, we can encore it. If he goes for Electroshot, we could actually encore it and be really annoying. Okay, beautiful. So that no longer goes in one turn. Gets the boost, but it's not rainy anymore. So we pretty easily go into Gouging here. And we can go back into Volbeat. He's a +1. I don't like that. I can encore into U-turn. Does this kill us? Maybe. Let's see. Nope, we live. Volbeat is way better. We're gonna go straight into Gouging Fire here. I don't care what they want to do. So that Electro Shot. I don't know if the calc takes +1 into it. Does take +1 into account. Yeah, that's standard max special attack. Actually, maybe a little less. Oh, that's fine. I should have probably U-turned. Engineer comes back in. If I U-turn, I set up T-spikes, which isn't fantastic. Are we faster? I don't think we're faster because he's max speed. I get a defense boost, which should be no big surprise. I think I go meta here. Well, yeah, everything's gonna proc the stupid T-spikes, unfortunately. I could also go Ogre and get a Trailblaze up. I like that. You're not clicking Poison move here. There's no shot. Should have U-turned. That's on me. Okay, you're power gemming, which is also annoying, but we eat that. ISD? What priority do you have? You outspeed me with everything. There's no reason for me to SD. I need the speed. Alright, switches again. So this Glim is just hanging around with 1 health. I could have like been Spike. I'm not, but I could have. Alright, this comes in. Should have SD'd, I guess. We'll get a Stam boost. We get a big low kick. +1 defense. Does that matter? Low kick does like nothing. Your leftovers. Yeah, you could definitely flash cannon me here. I don't really care. I'm just gonna click low kick. I need damage on you. I gotta break you eventually. It does like a third. My whole team's physical, isn't it? Did I mess up? I think I'm gonna have to hit a Focus Blast. Hey, drops a Draco. Not my favorite. +2 defense. So we're not doing anything with anybody. We have given up Terapagos and Ogre at this point. I mean, Meta kind of comes in for free. What's his answer to Meta? Not much. He's -2. He's not hurting me at all. The answer to Meta is Meowscarada, which unfortunately we can't one-shot, but it shouldn't be able to one-shot us either, I don't think. I'm gonna go for agility. Because, like, obviously he's +2, but we don't care. Because our Chaladon gets, like, nothing that damages us. How do we win? I guess Gouging Fire. Late game Dragon Dance sweep. Even though we're, like, no physical attack. Sounds pretty horrible. Okay, I get a free agility up. And you roar. Okay, that's great. Love that. What do we get forced into? Tell me it's the Volbeat. Show me the Volbeat. Horn. Okay. Well, is there a reason for us to not Tera? Not really. Tera doesn't really do anything for us either way. So I'm just going to do it. Just going to drop a Focus Blast. I hate Focus Blasts, but there was no other way for me to hit our Caladon. So we got to risk it. If we miss, we miss. It's part of the game. I think a Focus Blast should... Yeah, it should KO this if we land. We don't. So that's cool. Goes for Electro Shot. It's going to take the whole turn to charge, and it's still going to be -1. So this is about to do negative damage. Kind of makes me wish I was Nasty Plot. Oh, it's... Oh, no, it's leftovers. I was like, it's Power Herb. No. Not really sure what's going on there. We're just gonna... Oh, we land the second one. Is it dead? It's dead. Okay, that's actually huge because that thing beat our whole team. So we have a 1 health Glim, a Meowscarada, Barraskewda, and a Thundy T. Thundy T is, I would say, the biggest X factor left. And Thundy T, is it heavy? Is the question. It's Tera Water. Oh, Meows comes in. You don't want to take a Bleak Wind. Are you gonna U-turn? Yeah, I mean, Grass Knot does a pretty good chunk to Thundy. Meows, U-turn, we're Tera Grass. Banded U-turn kills us. That's cool. Just gonna go into Gouging. Whatever. I don't even know what we need Torn for at this point. I guess it's the only way to hit Glim. Yep, there's a U-turn. There's a Protean. That's fine. Get a little Rocky Helmet Chip. Our opponent knows our item now. Glim definitely comes in here, and we don't have as nice of a switch into it this time. But Glim Earth Power shouldn't KO Metagross. It does not. We get a Weakness Policy, and we get that boosted Bullet Punch. We're feeling pretty good. And if it like sets rocks here, I get a free agility next turn, and maybe we win. Maybe. That Meowscarada chip, and we crit our Bullet Punch on Meowscarada, we win. I can dream. The earth powers here got me good. Power gems. Okay, we devour that. Oh, we do not devour that as well as I thought we did. What? Power gem does that much? Okay, so earth power is like the babyest roll chance to kill us. I have to agility anyway. You are not corrosion, my friend. So I have to get T-spikes up on my side of the field, which I'm not a big fan of. Oh, that impacts Torn. Okay, that impacts my whole team very negatively. I don't like that. But, yeah, we don't really have another option. I'd like if you would proc my weakness policy, because you're the only thing that won't kill me. I'm gonna agility again. Come on, hit me, please. Earth power. Earth power, do it. Do it. You don't have earth power. Come on. Oh my gosh. Well, that was a waste of time. Whatever. Take 1 damage from my earthquake. And toxic spikes. Alright, Metagross. You gotta win me this game somehow. Nah, I'm gonna lose that stupid Barraskewda, because now my Gouging Fire is gonna get deleted when it switches in. Railgunner. Horn. Or Thundy. Catch the Psychic Fang. This might two-hit KO. It'll get you in range of Torn Grass Knot, so I don't have to play for misses anymore, which is nice. Well, if you Tera. You didn't Tera. You seem bulky. Wild Bolt misses. You take those. Now Thundy dies for nothing. Oh, Thundy switches to Meows, I assume. Yep. Fine with me. I will just bullet punch you in the face, and if you sucker punch me, we're feeling really good. If you're scarfed, actually you can't be scarfed sucker punch. I wish I was Meteor Mash a little bit now, but if you're sucker punch, Meteor Mash would have felt bad. So I'm kind of banking on that. A sucker actually wouldn't have knocked me out here, which is kind of funny. Knock is a roll from Scarf. So if it's banned, it knocks me out. If anything else, it's a roll. I'm at 257. Big damage. U-turn. Okay. Okay, so I definitely died to a Dark Top move now. Funny story, a knock had a 1 in 4 chance to KO me there. Otherwise, it would have proc weakness policy and we would have won the game. Barraskewda probably comes in here. Maybe. Or Thundy comes in. I don't know what's going to happen. Thundy comes back. I could try to predict Meowscarada. I don't want to. I think I'm just going to click Psychic Fangs. And if he goes back to Meowscarada, then that's fine. It's kind of telegraphed. Okay, nice. So we take the Thundy, and we're going to do a big chunk to Meows before we go down. Meows has to click Knock Off. And then, is our Gouging faster? I don't think our Gouging's faster than Barraskewda, so I think we do lose to it, unfortunately. Is there ever a world where we switch out? I don't think so. Barraskewda comes in? I mean, Softfangs is a roll on you. Even if you're Scarf, I feel like we outrun you. Oh, Tera Water Aqua Jet, maybe? Tera Water Banded Aqua Jet. Tera Water Aqua Jet does knock us out. Let's set the Sun on you. I could U-turn also. Oh, not Aqua Jet. Doesn't knock you out. Flip turn. Probably definitely. Oh yeah, definitely deletes us. Which is fine. We have to go Volbeat here and set up the sun and weaken that guy. I kind of wish I ran Thunder Wave over Thunder, if we're being honest. Wait, I have a whole Tornadus. That's good to know. I think I'm still going to go Volbeat. I kind of thought I was just down to Gouging and Volbeat, so Tornadus helps a little bit. I'm just going to set the sun. Should have probably been... Actually, AV Torn wouldn't have mattered, so it's fine. I don't know. I haven't really been thinking that much, which is probably not good. I guess we need to land a Horn move on Meows. This U-turn may not KO us, which would be kind of sick. It doesn't. So Barrascuda gets to do something annoying. Actually, I just chipped Barrascuda, right? I just let it die to Rocky Helmet. Sun's up. And let it die to Rocky Helmet, and hopefully Torn beats Meows. So I'll get a defense boost. I know I let rocks go up stupidly. Okay, hard doubles. That's totally fine. Because we're +1 on the Gouging. There's nothing Meowscarada can do to knock us out, and we can Morning Sun. So I think we just kind of heal spam the end game here. Because we'll go back to full, because Morning Sun will give us a big boost. Knocks me off. Well, that's rude. Do take Rocky Helmet damage. Gets rid of it though, so we no longer kill the Barrascuda. I should get back to full. Close to it if not. Okay, yeah, that's beautiful. +1 speed. We outrun... I'm not speed booster game. I don't know why you think I'm that. Yeah, +1 speed's only for Meows. It doesn't actually outrun Barrascuda, which is kind of lame. I think I can... I could also Dragon Claw. I kind of like a DD here. 2 DDs wins me the game. Axel comes out. It's fine. Does do big damage. Actually surprised. That's non-Protean Taxel. So I'll go down below 50% here. But I can Morning Sun again. Get back to full. And then DD again. And I think I'll win. So, I think we have this game somehow. We brought like absolute garbage, played like absolute trash, and somehow came out with a win, which, you know, I'll take. I'm gonna DD one more time to make sure. Well, does Barrascuda really realistically knock me out? Proto goes down, so we lose our defense boost. Tera Water Scuda. It could knock me out with a liquidation, which would be a big throw on my part. I don't think it can knock out Torn though. I was just doing like 30%. I think I can afford to DD. Yeah, I can afford to DD one more time. Not trying to stall the game out, I just need to be faster than Barrascuda and healthy. I know it's lame. Scarf Barrascuda knocked me out after the poison chip. Yes, I need to heal. You are also hitting every single triple axle. I'm really impressed. If this is somehow how I lose, then, you know, you got me good. If you hit every one of these again, you have to be wide lens. I refuse to believe you're not wide lens. That's crazy. Take our poison chip. One more morning sun, and we are in good shape. Sorry I'm stalling this, Steve. I'm really not trying to stall it. I just need to be in a position where I KO both. And I need you to miss a triple axle already. Come on, man. Okay, you're wide lens. You know, this is good enough. That's enough health. I think I'll be above 50%, so it's fine. It's good it's gonna get. Because obviously he's not gonna miss a Taxel. And we go below 50%. Oh no, we don't. We're right at 210. Scarf Liquidation's doing 174 max, so we should win here. And even if it is Scarf or Ban, then Torn just wins. Okay, nice. GG's to Steve, and we are in the bracket. This video is still not making it. This is still not making it into a video, but we are in the bracket, which is cool, with a team we didn't draft. Hello everybody, and welcome to the first bracket game for the NBBL. I'm Zand, and this is a rematch. So the team I'm bringing is definitely not the team that I thought was the best versus my opponent. Although the last one I did build in like, honestly, about 10 minutes, unfortunately. But I like the team we have this time. It's definitely weird. Last time we brought Sunny Day Volbeat to counter because he's a rain team and we have 0 water resist. But this time I'm not bringing Volbeat, sort of as a joke and sort of because I think he'll somehow prep for it. So he is Tera Flying Thundy, which I did kind of expect because he did say he wished he brought that last time. Okay, I jokingly said, if you don't bring Barrascuda, I won't bring Volbeat. And he didn't bring Barrascuda, which is very funny. And I didn't bring Volbeat. It wasn't part of the deal, though. I totally did not expect him to, like, quote unquote, honor it. I thought it was just a joke among the two of us. But hey, worked out. So no Volbeat, no Carbink on my side. No Barrascuda, no Dax Bun. So he brought Mamo over Scuda, which is fine. I just want to get my hazards up. I didn't really catch it on the first pass, but his only removal is Glamora's Mortal Spin. So we have Spin Block in Metagross, and this is about the jankiest Metagross set I've ever run, but I think it's also very funny. So yeah, good luck, have fun to Steve. And we're gonna see what we can do. You know, it's a money league with a team I didn't make, so no harm if I lose out early. This probably won't go up if I lose the first one, but if it's an entertaining battle, it might. Otherwise, you know, if we have a pretty deep run, I'll probably end up uploading the games either all together or one at a time. So leads with the Meows. Definitely beats my Focus Sash Gliscor pretty badly. I have the Metagross as a Helmet Mon to eat the triple Axle. I don't hate that. I also have Scarf Gouging Fire, but I do kind of like the Metagross. So Metagross was for Barrascuda and it's for Glamora. So no Barrascuda means it's a little more free. I don't think he knocks first turn. He might. If he knocks first turn, I'm feeling a little dumb, but it's okay. We bring in the meta. I'm just stupid. That was a really bad play. What? Oh. Okay, so much for my spin blocking. I really did expect the Taxel, but that is a tragic first turn crit. Does that kill me? That had to either been a high roll crit or a banded high roll, or you know, like banded crit. That's really tragic. Okay, well, we go Gouging Fire. Damn, okay. That's cool, I guess. There's other battles that may or may not be going up, and I'm having really bad luck in those too. So this is just like really not helping my self-esteem. I could see a switch into Glimora here. I don't hate Earthquake. Let me just look at my opponent's type chart. Yeah, fighting looks really good here. Tera fighting. Dragon, they have nothing that comes in on. So yeah, I could just let them get T-spikes up on me instantly. Seems like a good play. Okay, hard switches. That's a really tragic KO. Multi, I don't know who this is. I forgot the nicknames. It is the big guy. Probably takes 2, right? If he's stamina, he takes 2. He is stamina. So I'm about to get Draco directly in the face. Item? Leftovers, okay. Thought it was gonna be something interesting. So we probably just lose here. Mainly because of that first turn crit. We can get a crit back here, that would be nice. Thank you. That's really funny, actually. Because the Meow's crit only really matters in that if we had lived one, I could have bullet punched it, and we could have seen if it was banded or not. But that crit definitely mattered because he definitely lives and kills me back with Draco after the fact. The Mamo comes in. We have a ton of switches to Mamo Swan, if you couldn't tell. I mean, I kind of like Gliscor. I think he clicks Earthquake or Rocks here, and either way, that means we can avoid that getting our sash broken essentially. Could just click like Scarfed Icicle Spear and read my soul again, and I feel pretty bad about that, but you know, it's okay. So no Meows is Knock, and it's Protean. We got a Mamo to deal with. We got a Thundy Key to deal with. We got a Glim and a Pelipper. Okay, so there's the Earthquake. So I'm gonna get a Spike up here. No, actually, he's got 2 birds, so I'm gonna get Rocks up. He could just hit me with a big ice move. I don't really care. Okay, his Icicle Spear, so will kill me through my sash. That's fine though. All I wanted Gliscor to do was get Rocks up. So rip that Metagross. That Metagross set was going to be really funny if it actually did something. Icicle Spear also destroys this Ogerpon set, which is not cool. So I guess my option is to get Tornadus and Tera Blast. Yeah, it's not horrible. Yeah, I don't mind that. Other option would have been get Terapagos in, but I think it's too early for Terapagos. So we'll go for Tera Blast Fight. I hope this 2-shots Glimora. Okay. I'm not looking at the right guy. It doesn't 2-shot Glimora, so it's gonna be able to remove my hazards for free. This has a chance to KO Mamo. Probably doesn't. Looks like it's a roll against me if it's no bulk. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Trailblazes. That Trailblaze did like 77. Can we learn anything from that? It's a max hit from Jolly, which means Icicle Spear 4 hits does not KO me from here. So he's got to get the 5 hits. So we have the funny Fist Hat Bird. Once we lose this, we're kind of just banking on Terapagos to win, which is a scary proposition. It does Quake. This does not KO. Yeah. We'll get a big Tera Blast up. So do I go Terapagos directly on Glimora? Because it could definitely be the Meteor Beam set, and we don't want it to get set up before we can get set up. Goodbye, Mamo. Mamo is an absolute monster in my team, so I'm surprised he didn't bring the first time. Seeker comes in, is the Meows, okay. Takes the Rocks chip. kind of like hard gouging here, but scarf gouging doesn't look great because it has to pick between Earthquake and Iron Head or Glim. It does always one-shot Thundy though. Maybe this Ogerpon set is just trash and I should just throw it away. Well, actually the Spear Mammo is down. So that means it's got Pelly Glim that can deal with it. I want to save Torn, I think. I think Torn makes sense to save. I don't know, this Ogerpon set seems pretty bad. I thought it looked good into certain like ways he could build his team, but definitely not into what he's got going right now. Just U-turns. Okay, this is gonna hurt. Are you gonna be banded? Are you gonna KO me again? Actually, I'm sturdy. You can't KO me. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't a crit and it almost killed me, so we can see if it's actually banded or not. Yeah, that's banded. Okay, so that crit just was essentially a high roll. We can treat it as. Alright, so Glimmora comes in, probably wants to Mortal Spin on me if it has it. I don't want to get T-Spikes up on my side if I can help it. Cudgel would do a good amount of damage, but I kind of like setting up the Leech Seed for the Terapagos. So I think I'm going to do that. We do land. KO me with Mortal Spin, please. Thank you. Okay, beautiful. I think, yeah, we could have subbed on that had we been just a little healthier. Whoa, that gets rid of Seed. Well, that was a wasted turn. So we go to Wrap here, and we start Calm Minding. So last time his answer to this was Meteor Beam, or sorry, was Toxic. So I am just gonna click Calm Mind. I know this looks real stupid because we're mono normal move into a Glimmora, but trust me, it works. I should have actually hard switched Terapagos in on the Mortal Spin so that I got the Keyberry proc instantly. Because that banded Meows is actually a threat. But maybe it goes for another Mortal Spin to Toxic me anyway, since I resist the first hit. It's definitely faster than me too, because I'm like 8 speed EVs, so I think I speed tied at base. Oh, beautiful, thank you. So Mortal Spin is gonna proc my berry and poison me, but that's fine. Yeah. We're gonna get +1/+1/+1 here. So how much does the banded Meows do to us now? The real question. We are no item. And we are hurt. I hate that the calc automatically shows Terapagos is not hurt. Flower Trick does about half. So we can definitely afford to Calm Mind again. Spiky Shields. Okay, that's cool. We get a free Calm Mind up. So we're +2/+2. Their Starstorm should two-shot this from this range. I'm gonna rest this turn, just so we're not getting in range of any Meows shenanigans. And I want to say we KO Thundy now. Should KO Thundy. Definitely KO Pelipper. Definitely KO Meows. So yeah, we just kind of start clicking attacks here. Pelipper, Thundy don't threaten us. This doesn't threaten us because it seems to be much more utility set. It is Power Gem. Unfortunately for you, I'm Rest. Not only Rest, I'm Sleep Talk. I almost ran Earth Power with Resto Chesto, which I think would have been pretty solid here, but we still wouldn't have got our speed up. So I dig this set. Hard switches. Okay, so there's a 1 in 3 chance we KO whatever comes in. It is the Seeker, the Meows. So 1 in 3 chance we delete this and probably just win the game. Let's go gambling. Get Calm Mind. Okay. Alright. Go gambling again. Trick? Psychic type Trick? Choice Band. I should have just clicked Terra Starstorm. Wait, does this mean I'm locked into Sleep Talk now? I don't actually know how choice items work. Dang it. I am. If I just clicked Terra Starstorm, which makes no sense, that would have been great. Okay. So I'm going to pivot around. Pivot into Torn and then into Gouging from there. Well, that sucks. That was our guaranteed win. That was a really good bring. I didn't expect it to be Trick 4th move. I thought it would be like dual stab, Taxel, U-turn. Does show U-turn. Totally fine. I mean, despite being choiced, we're still kind of a menace for him to deal with. Kelly comes in. Sets the rain for no one except yourself. We can win 2 shots, but obviously Hurricane's gonna just obliterate us back. Actually, well, no, we probably don't live. And I don't trust it not being scarfed. We're just gonna get our regen up. That's a good bring. Trick was a very good bring. Weather Ball, okay. So we can see how much this does to resist if it does, what's that, 72? Standard, no special attack Pelipper. We're just gonna click Starstorm, nothing stopping us from Starstorm. And we are faster, is this bulky? Bulky but not bulky enough. U-turns, okay, that's fine. So Torn can set up on us, I guess. If it's agility Torn, it might win. I don't know that Tera flying KOs. No, we should 2-shot Torn, actually. Yeah, we should 2-shot this. Or, sorry, Thundy. I keep saying Torn. I don't know that a Thunder KOs us. If it's Specs, sure. Thunder should not KO, and Starstorm's gonna do big damage. So imagine if he has a setup move here, he clicks it. Does turn into a flying type, which makes him no longer resist our, okay, just Terra Blast. Almost KOs us, but not quite. Big damage. I wonder if you're scarfed. Terra Blast, goodbye Terapagos. You almost won us the game, but my opponent was very smart and brought Trick Meows. So Gouging definitely KOs you. Terra Blast definitely does not KO me. Horn definitely KOs you. Terra Blast KOs me if you're Scar. So you have a half health Pelipper. I think a full health Glimora. Half health Pelipper, full health Glimora. Slightly chip Meows in the back. So Gouging is way better into this endgame. Just don't know if you're Scarf. That's the hard part. I think I go Gouging. Outrage 2-shots everything. Or might one-shot. I don't know about Pelly. Outrage looks like it's a roll on Pelly. Okay, you're not Scarf, so I should have went Torn. But actually with that, okay, that crit did not matter. So I could get Power Gemmed here. Do I live? Yes, I actually do live a Power Gem, which is cool. An Outrage 2 shots. Yeah, so this puts me in a worse position against Glim. It's gonna be close. I think if I can get Gouging back out, if it's only a 2-turn Outrage, I can switch into Torn after this, and it should win the end game. But if I get stuck into a 3-turn, then it's not great. Actually, if I just live this hit, I think we're feeling pretty good. Obviously, we get T-Spikes up though, which is not good. Oh, well, I'm sorry, my friend. That is a very well-timed crit for me. And a very poorly timed crit for you. Oh, you were Helmet too, okay. Not really sure, actually thinking about it, why the spiky shield didn't happen there, but it's fine. So Captain comes out, that is the Pelly. We would KO it, but I actually do just want to go into Torn. I think I live a Hurricane. Hurricane into a Poison Chip, maybe not, but we'll see. Yeah, because that's a little awkward. Maybe I shouldn't have Tera'd when I did, but I needed a KO Mammo. Weather Balls, okay, so not Hurricane, which is good. And we can take advantage by going for the Bleak Wind. It hits everything that's left. Should knock out Pelly here, and then we should win the game with Scarfed Outrage on Gouging Fire. So thanks to a couple very fortunate crits, but we did also, actually the crit on us didn't matter. We just cheesed our opponent out of a win. I'm gonna be honest. We did not deserve this win. My opponent had absolutely fantastic prep. I'm just gonna click Bleak Wind again. Meows should knock me out. Let's see your knock. Frick, U-turn. What could your fourth move be that would beat me? What could you turn it? Is if it's a fairy move? Okay, it's Taxel. Lands 1, lands 2. I don't think you possibly live an Outrage. Yeah. I mean, I could Blitz, but it's raining, so I don't really like that. I think I just Outrage and just hope for the best. Because yeah, Blitz is actually the exact same power in the rain. Big Outrage, not a defensive Meow. So that's good. It was like max HP, just out of curiosity. It probably would have lived, yeah. And we already saw that. Oh, wait, did I kill Torn? Oh, oops. Didn't realize I KO'd Torn. Okay, GG's. I definitely did not deserve that. I'm sorry for critting you out of a money league, but because I crit you, we move on to the next stage. All right, and we are back for top 16 of the Nova Summer Slam, and our opponent is Tera Fairy on the Enamorous, which very much makes me think we're gonna lose, because that sounds scary. I kind of expected a more defensive Tera, so I didn't really bring any coverage for it. We don't see Munchlax and we don't see Rotom-Mow, so that's easy enough. Our dedicated lead is the Ogerpon, which I kind of would like to save for the Enamorous, because it's still doing big damage, but hopefully we can just set up around the Enamorous and beat it. I don't have a Steel move on Metagross. Otherwise, I think we're okay. I'm not sure what the Enam is wanting to do. But good luck, have fun to my opponent. I did not expect to make it this far. I don't really deserve to be here because I hacked the absolute crap out of Steve last week. But hoping maybe we can get an honest win this time and feel a little better about being where we're at, since we kind of stole the spot from him. Our opponent this week is Zachmander. I have not heard the name before, but seems like a really good battler, so I'm excited for this one. And we see Zach leads with Spoopy, the Darkrai, which is a good lead. Are you going to be Blunder Policy Hypnosis by chance? Because I feel like I've seen that a couple times now. Ice Beam doesn't bring me down to Sturdy, and U-Turn does a relatively crazy amount back. What do I U-Turn into? I guess Torn. I could also save Sturdy. Just go hard into Torn. Ice Beam's gonna hurt, so I kind of just like going for U-Turn, actually. Yep, does Ice Beam, so glad we didn't hard switch. We do take relatively less damage than I expected. And we do about what we expected back. So, okay, I guess that's fairly standard. Did a little over 200 damage. Go for 214. That's like a low roll if he's max timid. I do like just going into Torn here. Go ahead and Tera-ing. Air Slash should knock this out, but U-Turn actually also knocks this out for sure. Yeah, especially with Tera. So we're just gonna go ahead, Tera up, U-Turn again. If we trade most of our health on Ogerpon for Darkrai, that's good for us, I would say. It does switch, which is fair. I'm leaning that that is Scarf, with it being lead the way it was. I can't be sure, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. Slowking is the switch in, so we can get a pretty good idea of how defensive this guy is. U-Turn should do like a third to max defense, so if it does more than that, then I'm gonna assume it's SpeDef. So let's see. If my commentary is a little more flat, it is like 10 p.m., which is unusual. Holy crap. Why did that do negative? Oh, I'm looking at I'm looking at the wrong Slowking. I was like, why did that do half as much as it should have? Yeah, that's it's actually hard to tell if that's BizDef or SpeDef. Ogerpon for a knockoff is not bad here. Gliscor, actually to get Toxic Orb up, and Threaten EQ is also nice. Do we KO? Does he KO us? Two questions that need answered. Ice Beam definitely KOs us. EQ probably KOs him. I can't be sure. So I do actually like the Ogerpon knock play. I like that we are the item, or Ogerpon's mask gives it a buff to stab, and we've only clicked non-stab moves, but it's fine. I didn't trust Earthquake because max defense Slowking, which it very well could be, only takes like 2/3, so it would definitely live. And it's hard to tell off that roll. Like, that's around 20%, so it probably was fine to go Gliscor. Also, we want to keep as much information to ourselves as we can. I do know this knock will not KO. It does switch. This knock will definitely not KO. Spoopy comes back in. Okay. We will get rid of your item. And we will go straight out into Torn after this. Mirror Herb. Okay, you were expecting me to lead setup. Were you expecting a Meteor Beam Terapagos? Because I have been running that a lot. I guess I do actually have a ton of setup, so Mirror Herb makes a lot of sense. But I am just going to switch into Torn here. So yeah, that knock wouldn't have KO'd Slowking either, but it would have got it really low, and taking its item would be nice. We want to get rid of an AV if possible. Dark Pulses does 100 damage on the dot. Probably standard dot. I'm just going to U-turn. T-Waves, that's annoying. So we'll take a pair on me. Hopefully I can claim the KO still. We do claim the KO. Torn was meant to be more of a defensive pivot in this game anyway, but losing our speed advantage on the rest of his team is a little awkward. We definitely still check Great Tusk pretty well. Still outspeed the Slowking. So we're still looking okay. So now what wants to come in? Nothing outruns the Ogerpon that isn't Scarf. So I think I could go back into Ogerpon to not give away any information. Metagross has a lot of counters. Gliscor could definitely bait in like Feraligatr that we don't want to see. Terapagos is decent. Gouging Fire, we would pop Booster, and I think we want Chip on Tusk first. So I will go into Ogerpon and see if I can bait out... anything Scarfed. Because I think a Scarfer would want to come in here to KO me. Mario Fan comes in. I think that's another player in the league. It is the Enamorous. Are you going to be Scarf Moonblast? Because if I can confirm that now, that's actually really good for me, I think. I think Ivy Cudgel is our play no matter what. Because even if you Tera, this should do a good chunk if you're not Scarfed. Yeah, Cudgel actually might KO standard Enam. Okay, you are Scarfed, and you do click Earth Power. So, it's cool. That's an absolutely free switch in to Gliscor. And nothing else. Okay. Enamorous is Scarf, and it is Earth. I could Scale Shot here, get my speed up. I feel like Feraligatr switches in here relatively for free, so I do kind of like Earthquake. Because I don't think Scale Shot into, well, actually Tusk could also come in, so SD's not horrible. I'm just gonna click Earthquake. Yeah, switches out. This at least chips everything that comes in, which is fine with me. Feraligatr is the switch of choice. Earthquake should do... okay, almost half. That's pretty good. Ice Punch obviously KOs me, but I also don't want to let this get up a DD if I can help it. And Liquidation definitely KOs me also. That Earthquake looks to be a roll. Our other option is Gouging. Get our speed boost up, but then we don't KO with Breaking Swap, I don't think, which is a little awkward. Yeah, we don't. So I think I will just click a second EQ. Could have also clicked Scale Shot to stay faster. Yeah, it does DD, which is fine. I could have clicked Scale Shot to stay faster, but if he's Aqua Jet, it might knock me out. Actually, it wouldn't have, I don't think. So there's now a threat. Probably two-shots everything on my team. Gouging Fire will outspeed it, though. Actually, yeah. +1. It's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna KO. Aqua Jet into Liquidation shouldn't KO. And we'll get our speed boost. Not how I wanted to use Gouging Fire, but if it's how it does its job best, then it's okay. Show me Ice Punch over Liquidation, please. Let's see. It's Liquidation, unfortunately. So this into Aqua Jet. Oh, that definitely KOs me, huh? So if you're Aqua Jet, I'm in trouble. Actually, if you're Aqua Jet, you also KO yourself, though. So it's okay. So I don't want to give up the fact that I'm Breaking Swipe if I don't have to. So I think I will just click Heat Crash here. See, you didn't immediately click Aqua Jet, which makes me think you're not Jet. Soaking is not chipped. I was about to type HP amounts, but it definitely is regen. Feraligatr is about 5%. That was potentially an unlucky roll with Gliscor. I definitely should have just clicked Scale Shot into Earthquake again. I think that would have put me in a much better position. Does switch. Nothing really wants to come in on a Heat Crash, except I guess Tusk. Is the Tusk. We'll just drop a Heat Crash. That's absolutely nothing, which I think is expected. Yeah, so we can Breaking Swipe this to allow us to start setting up probably Terapagos. Torn is our dedicated switch in, but we've lost our speed boost, so I'm actually okay just going for the Breaking Swipe here. We always outspeed. So it does drop your attack. You're not Clear Amulet, which is cool. Ice Spinner is a good play. My team is incredibly weak to ice, but we don't get KO'd thanks to Breaking Swipe. So that's interesting. At -1, max attack, Great Tusk. Actually, yeah, it doesn't KO us. I could force the Headlong Rush and click Morning Sun here. And if he clicks Ice Spinner again, then we tank it easily. So hoping that happens. It does just click Ice Spinner again. Okay, nice. So we get extra damage. It's definitely not banded. Kind of makes me want to switch now on the non-Ice Spinner attack. Again, we lose our speed on this. It's not my favorite. But we're not really doing anything. I mean, if we chip the Tusk... I don't know if it's worth it. It probably just clicks Ground Move. But I do think I can just go into Torn. We got our health back on this a little bit. So no big surprises so far. Yeah, it does click Headlong Rush now. We should eat this, yeah. And he does lose his defensives. He's very motivated to switch here, which makes me want to click U-turn instead of a flying move. Yep, insta switches, wow. No hesitation there. Maki comes in. Oh, are these all named after people in the server? That's really nice. Do drop a U-turn. And we do get our choice of switch in. That looked like it did a little more than last time. I guess a higher roll. I really want to believe Gliscor KOs this. We also have Metagross. Potentially threatens it. Because what does Gliscor? Does Gliscor bring anything back in? Alligator can't just switch back in on us again. So we could Scale Shot. But if he's Ice Beam and he lives, we're just sad. So I actually like the Metagross and sub play. Just to see if he has fire coverage. If he has fire coverage, it's fine. Oh, I'm just flying. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna sub. Do we outspeed a Namorous at +2? I don't think so. Choice Scarf Namorous. Us at +2. We do. I EV'd for Choice Scarf and Namorous. Nice. Okay. Happy about that. I don't think we KO it, but it's at least cool that we at least outrun it. This was our Fairy Resist, actually, too, now that I think about it. So he does stay in. Might click an attack, which would make me sad. No Fire Blast, please. Okay, T-Wave, that's what I wanted to see. So, no T-Wave for you. I am going to Agility. Could have Shadow Balled for a potential 2-hit KO, but it's unlikely. Okay, Chilly Reception. Totally fine. We outrun an Namorous now, and it's still got to be scared of physical Metagross, right? He's got to be very scared of physical Metagross. So we know Slowking is Thunder Wave and Chilly. We know nothing about Golden Go. We know Tusk is Ice Spinner, Headlong Rush. And we know Feraligatr is Life Herb. Slowking is full health still. Namorous, I think, still full health. Yeah, probably should have brought Rocks on something, but I did like the sub meta. Tusk comes in. I got a bad surprise for you, my friend. We are not physical. I could have been mixed. Like, Psychic plus Heavy Slam actually looks kind of insane here. So Tusk goes down, which is fantastic for the Gouging Fire late game. He might suspect Flash Cannon and not want to go into a Namorous. Yeah, Psychic two-shots it easily, but definitely doesn't one-shot it. So the Metagross set working exactly as expected, which is pretty sick. So two big threats are down. We lost Ogerpon, which was kind of expected. I kind of wanted it to be an early breaker. So he has no electric switch-ins. I don't think we have an electric type. He has 0 ghost switch-ins left. We have the Shadow Ball. Slowking does come back in. I will go for said Shadow Ball. See how much this does. I still don't know why we're just kind of a floating sprite. Okay, it doesn't do that much. So we will eventually kill ourselves to Life Orb into this Slowking. Is Psy Noise, so it'll go behind my sub, but not break it. Hopefully he doesn't see the line where he just switches back and forth as Slowking and never really takes damage, and I die slowly to my own Life Orb. Probably does see that line, but it's fine. He now knows my full set as well. But there's not a whole lot he can do to stop it at this point. We don't KO the Golden Go either, unfortunately, with the Shadow Ball. But we will do a massive amount. And at this point, we're just breaking. I think Terapagos in this endgame looks fantastic. So, feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Alright, Shadow Ball looks to be a 3-shot. He could Chilly Reception here, but he also could just hit us with another Psy Noise. Yeah, it does just hit us with another Psy Noise. Looks like we live 3 more Life Orb hits. So, 1 more Shadow Ball. He has 0 Shadow Ball switch ends. Could sack for Alligator here. I think I KO an Amorous with Shadow Ball into Psychic. Does just sack the Feraligatr. That makes sense. Get your regen back up on Slowking. And then I think, yeah, Psy Noise, a Psy Noise and 2 Shadow Balls will KO me. But that leaves just Golden Go and an Amorous to handle the rest of my team. Now that I'm looking at it, an Amorous is really hard for me to deal with. So, see how that goes. Quick Shadow Ball again. I guess I could have not been Life Orb in this situation, and I would have just completely walled him, because the Life Orb ended up doing more damage than he did. But it's fine. I don't know the Psy Noise KOs me here. Another Life Orb hit obviously does, but I don't think this KOs me. It doesn't. We live on 2. Nice. Okay, so now he has to pick a sack or something to take pretty significant damage, and we will KO ourselves behind a sub. So it's either like 50% on an Amorous, or dead Slowking, or big damage on Golden Go. It's kind of his options here. I could have clicked Psychic expecting an Amorous, but if this stays in, then we feel kind of silly. Yeah, because Shadow Ball actually only does about 1/3 to an Amorous. But yeah, Psychic wouldn't have KO'd this, and it would have been able to get healthy again, so definitely not worth it. So, glad to see Feraligatr go. That thing was really scary into late game. And the Slowking gets sacked. Okay. So, I will not be going Terapagos next, for sure. The only threat left, I guess, is Golden Go, because as long as we know an Amorous is Scarfed, we're not feeling horrible. Great job, Metagross. I love that that janky set actually did something. I mean, Gliscor doesn't drop to when Tera Fairy Scarfed and Amorous hit, right? If it doesn't, I'm gonna go with that. It looks like it doesn't as long as it's 10. If it's Modest, it's gonna be a roll. Other option, Gouging Fire always beats Golden Go as long as it's not Scarfed, so that's fine. Tornadus should always U-turn, but it lets Golden Go potentially set up, so I'm gonna go Gliscor. Tornadus can also deal with the an Amorous in the late game if we don't get unlucky. Golden Go is the switch of choice. I do think it lives an Earthquake. Didn't see an Air Balloon, I don't think. Hex probably doesn't KO us back. I love the default set has an Air Balloon. Gaslights me into thinking Earthquake's not gonna hit. I can click Scale Shot here, but I doubt I outspeed the Amorous. I could click Basalt. I could click Sword Stance, actually. I like the Sword Stance. Yeah, because he either stays in with this. I guess now he can switch. Okay, it does Hex. Now, do you go into an Amorous? Ow, okay. Because I think the Earthquake is very obvious. I think I'm actually going to go for the Facade. I should have just clicked Earthquake. But now I think I have to make a play, unfortunately. I could have just clicked Earthquake and maybe one-shot it. Okay, nice. So we do catch the Enamorus. This should KO. So that was kind of a 50-50 there, but I thought it was definitely in his better interest to hard switch, and so the big facade paid off massively. And now I think we just win with Golden Gift coming back in. And that's game. We didn't even have to bring Terapagos out, which was nice. It was always just our last resort Mon, just in case something went wrong. He is Shuka. Okay. So that makes sense why he went Golden Go and was so okay with attacking. So that's a smart bring. Hexes, we will lose Gliscor, but definitely did his job. Do we finish this out with Terapagos or Gouging Fire? Definitely don't want to give anything the chance to recover. I think I just finished it out with Terap. Or no, we'll do Gouging. It's fine. Just click Key Crash. And that is game. GG's to Zachmander, and with that we move on to top 8. I believe we play Treyunt, who's a name I've not heard in a minute, but I'm really excited to play him as well. If you enjoyed, leave a like. I think all these videos are going to be one big mega comp, so it's going to be a little weird flowing from one to the next, but yeah, we're going to move right on to the next one. All right, welcome back to top 8 of the BBL, or the NBBL Summer Slam, I think is what we're calling it. You can see the team on screen real quick. We are super offense as usual. I was gonna lead the Gouging Fire until last second, and then I decided, you know what? Let's just run Torn lead. Let's be boring. Searching now. I told him we are Tera Ground Tornadus, and we are actually physical Tornadus. We ran Jolly Torn because we only have one special move, and Tera Blast being physical actually is really good for us. So looking forward to this game. We're playing Treyunt, who I can't remember. Maybe we played one other time, but we're in the same circles. So it's interesting we haven't battled each other before now. He is Tera Stellar Enamorus, which makes me think maybe not Scarfed, but Stellar Blast, very possible. No Swalot, there is a Goudra, no Belly Bolt. Okay, I prepped a little hard for the Belly Bolt, but that's okay. No T-Spikes is good. He has Spikes in Samu. I brought Rapid Spin Trap, but we're not Boots. I think Lead Torn is our most consistent option. Lets us U-turn on Samu into Gouging Fire to make him make a difficult decision. Yeah, it's not bad. Our Ogerpon and Gliscor sets are essentially the exact same. They're both SD, a speed boosting move, and then coverage that's good. So for Gliscor, it's Earthquake Facade, and for Ogerpon, it is Ivy Cudgel Low Kick. So pretty solid, both of them. Meta is Trailblaze AV, +1 speed. I think I set it to outrun Cinderace, and it's got like Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Ice Punch, which is pretty cool. Standard Dot, Terapagos, Calm Mind, Rapid Spin, Tera Starstorm, and Earth Power. Gouging Fire banded with Double Dragon move, Flare Blitz, and Earthquake. And Torn is Torn. Let's send it. Good luck, have fun, Trey. We are getting close to the money now. If I lose, you know what? It's totally fine. I'm not crying about it. Like I said, I didn't put money in. I didn't draft the team. I'm just having fun at this point. I almost brought banded Volbeat to this battle, to be completely honest. I kind of wish I did. But I did not. Okay, there's the Samu lead. I kind of expected it. Lead, Gouging would have KO'd this. He definitely could like Scarf Ceaseless me. So I'm definitely not going to Tera because Scarf Razor Shell would knock me out if I Tera'd. We'll just U-turn. Pretty safe first turn play. He just messaged, said his Wi-Fi was bad, so we're going to try to make some quick plays and hope he doesn't lag out. Fingers crossed. Okay, he has Scarf Ceaseless Edge. And that did half. Okay, yeah, that's normal for Jolly. So that sucks a little bit. because now we definitely aren't getting our stuff up. And that U-turn did a little under half, which is about expected. I imagined he was max speed. Makes me think that maybe his Enam isn't Scarf. So click Dark Move. I have 0 Dark Move switch-ins, I'm realizing. Made a slight mistake there. I can go ahead and get Terapagos in and Rapid Spin. How much are you doing to Terapagos? If I mess with the calc, so I'm not taking half damage from everything. Ceaseless doing about 1/3. Rapid Spin doesn't make us faster than you, so we'd have to eat 2. But I really don't want those spikes up, so I'm okay with it. I know I'm going to show off my leftovers early, but I don't mind. And because he's got so many good Terapagos answers that might as well just use it early rather than late. So we will show our lefties, unfortunately. And I think Goodra is a pretty easy switch in for him here, but if he doesn't hit me, then we actually get our shell back, if I'm not mistaken, which would be pretty nice. We might be like 2 HP off from that. I hope not. I didn't think to, I don't know. Terapagos is weird. Very weird Pokemon. So I don't have my battle notes up. Where are they? There they are. Okay, nice. Let me grab his 6 Pokemon. I really did expect the Belly Bolt, I'll be honest. Belly Bolt is a menace. I feel like almost every time I've played against it, I've lost. So we know Samu is Scarf. Ceaseless. Okay, nice. So he might be Helmet here. Okay, he is Goodra, which, yeah, makes sense. We're gonna spin. Big damage. We get our speed up, which doesn't really matter. Get the spikes away, and we will lefties heal back up. And does not bring us to full by 1 HP, which is a little tragic. We also see the lefties on the Goodra. So we have good ways of breaking this between Torn. Honestly, this Terapagos isn't bad. The worst case is he's like Acid Armor, Body Press, Spadef, I guess. But even then, we have ways to break it, sort of. I mean, Torn is a pretty free switch in to special Goodra here. I also just don't mind going for an Earth Power, just to get some chip on the board. So we'll go for that. Yeah, it does negligible damage, which is crazy. It is Shelter, so it is the defense setup set. If it's Rest, we might lose on the spot because I didn't bring the Encore Volbeat. So not feeling great about that. It's not AV. He is lefties. If he's Detail, Shelter, Body Press, it could get a little dicey. I don't mind clicking Earth Power again. I feel like he's gonna Dragon Tail me. I feel like I'm gonna feel like an idiot if I call Mind. I'm just gonna go for more damage with Earth Power. Hopefully not Rest. Rest would be worst case probably. Body Press. Okay, we do have our Tera Shell, so we will take not very effective damage from that, which is cool. Still does a ton, because it is +2. I can calc that. Yeah, that's outright, I think. So this will take 4 times as much damage, which we don't really want to happen. So I am going to go into Gliscor here. I know he is +2, but he doesn't really threaten Gliscor unless he's Ice Beam. And I don't mind it that our shell's broken. We needed that extra damage down in case he is something cheeky like Rest or Dragon Tail. It's just Body Press again. Not too much damage. Earthquake here should still do like a big chunk. So if we have to get rid of Gliscor or Goodra, then it's not the end of the world. I don't mind. Just to make this a non-issue for the rest of the game. Now, if it's max defense, Earthquake is going to do pitiful damage here. Okay, it does switch, which is fine. I assume one of the genies comes in. Landorus, okay, fair. This should not have a way to KO me. And Facade chunks it. Alternatively, Horn just comes in for free. Relative free. Yeah, I don't mind that. That's kind of what Torn's here for. If I knock off its life orb, it becomes a lot less of a threat. We'll switch around. It does go for sub, so that's good to know. It doesn't knock, break, sub. It looks like it's a roll, which is not great for me. Okay, so sub lefty, so it's not life orb. So I assume you're Calm Mind in that case, and you're probably Fizz Def. So it's unlikely that knock, break, sub. Ugh, that's a little sketch. Tera Blast probably doesn't break sub at base, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go for Bleak Wind. Okay, we do land. Are you Calm Mind? If you're Calm Mind, I'm just gonna knock you next turn immediately. And if you're Calm Mind, I'm not gonna Tera, because I don't want to take Earth Powers. Okay, is Psychic. Should do less than half. Yeah, not too much. I'm gonna go for Knock, because this thing is scary. And then I'm gonna take some notes. So knock off. So Landorus is leftovers, and you are sub. Psychic, I assume Earth Power, maybe Calm Mind. And then we know Goodra is sheltered, BP. Nothing else on that one. We will get rid of your leftovers, which is pretty nice. Does hit me with the Psychic. It's fine. Yep, very little. We can actually take another pretty easily. I do kind of want to regen back up, but I do take another, and Bleak Wind should do a good chunk. I could go into meta here. I don't love that, though. I mean, Bleak Wind is just asking to miss at this point. If he's no item on Torn, or on Lando... Gotta look at this real quick. No item Lando into meta. Earth Power Psychic plus Earth Power shouldn't KO me. A little touchy, but I don't hate that play. I will regen. I should have U-turned. I think it was kind of stupid for me not to U-turn because I need chip. See, he does just Psychic again. This should do minimal damage. 291. Earth Power does a little more than that from a max roll. So we'll go for Trailblaze. Oh, hard switches. Okay. Did you expect Scarf, I wonder? Samu comes in. You're not going to appreciate this Trailblaze. We will have to get out after this, but this is going to do a good chunk. Yep. Okay. So that's pretty good. And unfortunately, you definitely outspeed us with Scarf. So we got to get on out of here. Do we think you Ceaseless or you Water Move this time? Samurott. Scarf. I mean, Gouging eats one. Gliscor dies to Razor Shell. Meta actually doesn't die here. Scarf Ceaseless does like 70 to 80. So I can Trailblaze again. I think I'm looking at this right. I mean, Adamant's going to do a little bit more, but I don't mind just getting my speed up. I will eat a Ceaseless, but we do eat a Ceaseless. What priority do you have? You have Sucker Punch on Cinderace, I guess. So that's fine. So there's one spike on the field, but Samurott is gone, which is huge. I could have called that and went to like Gouging Fire, but then I'm locked into a move, and I don't like that very much. I'm assuming Landorus is EP, and then I don't know what else. Namorous, I don't think will be choiced. Terapagos is a big wild card here. I didn't bring any hazards to pop its shell or anything. He doesn't have a clean switch in here if Cinderace isn't Sucker Punch, though. And I'm probably not going to predict it because meta is so low that it's going to be hard to get it back in anyway. Trap is the switch in. And we can see Metagross into Terapagos. He will have to KO me. I mean, I'm not going to do much damage regardless. but Heavy Slam is doing more than anything else. So we'll just click that. Pop the shell. I don't know how much this is gonna do. I never know with Terapagos. Okay, honestly, decent. And a Star Storms. I'm AV. Ah, shoot. Hang on. Can I figure out? Can I learn anything from that? I was like 40 something. Ah, I was just out of range. That's a little unfortunate. I can spin with my own Terap here. Alternatively, I go Gliscor. Gouging. Even Torn and just U-turn. Or Knock. Starstorm is not doing that much to Torn, I don't imagine. Yeah, it's doing like a third. Ice Beam. Same damage. I just don't want to get into a war with a like rest Terapagos. And I would like to get more health on Torn if possible. So I don't hate it. I would like to just knock, but you might just be boots. Terrablast grounds. How much are we doing? Bleakman's still doing more. I do like the knock. I do like getting rid of your item. Okay. And it is boots. Okay, yep, fair. Are you gonna spin? You're gonna toxic. Okay, that's a little annoying, but not the end of the world. Toxic's actually really good Terapagos counter play. Move 1 of Terapagos is Terapagos. It is toxic. And Tera star. So that's fine. That means we can't get status otherwise. Not that we were going to. And I do think I like U-turn into our own Terapagos here. Really thinking I can force the switch here. Maybe I can. Okay, beautiful. Is it going to be something I can spin on is the next question. Is Goudra. So that gives me Gliscor again. Or Terapagos to spin. I think the play is Terapagos and spin. Although everything threatens this, I really want to keep my sturdy, actually. So this makes Ogerpon way better in the late game. Even though this thing walls me a little bit. And body press will hurt. I don't mind. I could have double knocked there, I guess, but probably not the best play in the world. And I am letting it get healthy on me. But because it didn't Ice Beam on Gliscor, I'm just gonna assume it's not Ice Beam and pay for it later if it is. Okay. So battle's going decently so far. Goudra's at like 65%. Landorus is like, what? 70%? I don't remember. Grap is like 50. We do got our spin up. Are you going to shelter? Or are you going to body press? Raw body press. Okay, totally fair. Big damage, but we got rid of rocks, which is... Oh, okay, that's because of crit. You know, that's probably fine. I don't see Terapagos, like, winning us this game at base. So I'm okay with that. These leftovers are going to take forever, and then his Wi-Fi is going to disconnect right before like a super crucial turn, and this is going to be the worst recreation ever. We'll just go into Gliscor. If he Ice Beams, he Ice Beams, and he gets me good. But, you know, I can't do too much about it, and he didn't reveal it first time, which is like really good. Let's see it. Okay, hard doubles. If you go into Landorus, I think I'm just going to scale shot. Okay, yeah, doubles into Landorus. I'm just gonna scale shot. I assume 2 hits might break sub. That was a good double. 3 scale shots might break sub. And then I have Facade after that. So we'll just scale shot. Nasty plot, not even Calm Mind. Yo. That's not scary at all. Let's not miss. Okay, thank you. That little pause scared me for a second. Okay, 2 hits. We love to see it. Facade probably doesn't KO with 2 hits, but it's fine. Psychic definitely KOs me with Sheer Force. Actually, without Life Orb, it's a roll. You're not modest. So we'll just click Facade here. Let's see. Okay, so you do barely live because we didn't hit our third scale shot. And this is a roll that we don't get, of course, which is fine. Okay, so what's our play here? We have two Pokemon that outspeed this in Torn, Ogre. Torn baits in Goodra. Ogre baits in Cinder? Enam? No, Enam can't beat Ogre. So I actually like the Torn play here because it forces him into some position he doesn't want to be in. So that was a little unfortunate, little unlucky on our part with the two scale shots into the high roll Psychic, unless it's modest. But yeah, I'm just gonna click Knock here. I will claim an item. Trap comes in, Trap comes in. It has, I assume it's not Rest. It might be Rest Talk, Toxic, Starstorm. I'm not gonna assume that's the set. It's pretty niche. And if I ran Terapagos, if I ran Terapagos, then I guess Toxic still hits me. I don't know. It's not outside the realm of possibility. It's just not very likely. So this is now at like 5% if he decides for whatever reason to save it. We have not yet seen an Amorous or Cinderace. Either of them could be Scarf. I'm gonna hope neither of them are Scarf because his Samu was, but because his whole team is outsped by Torn, I could definitely see him bringing double Scarf. I'm also definitely not gonna Tera Torn unless I absolutely have to, because an Amorous can start Tera Blasting. Okay, so we will hit this with another Knock. I don't know if we KO this with Tera Blast. And I don't know if I care to calc it. We still have Banded Gouging in the back. Is that good? No, not really. Everything, I don't know. An Amorous just KOs me, so it's a little awkward. Do I have to Tera here? I Bleak Wind. I feel like the way this battle is going, I'm gonna miss Bleak Wind. So do I U-turn, go into my own trap? Otherwise I don't really want to take a hit here. I mean, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for a Bleak Wind. Oh, we do land and we do KO. Nice. Okay, so that's huge. Get rid of the baby turtle. I already forgot. Did we KO Landorus? No, he hard switched. So he's still got like a 5% Landorus hanging out. Yeah, and he's kind of revealed his hand with 2 of his 4. Other 2 he's still keeping in the back. Goodra comes in. He doesn't know that we're physical Tera Blast, and we probably 2-shot this. So I think I will go for that now, because it'll get it in range of like a low kick. And I don't know if he's calculating special Tera Blast, which he should be, then he's gonna see that this does way less damage than it actually does. I've been calculating for Terapagos instead of Tornadus for a while now, so that's a little awkward, but maybe it's okay. So this should do big damage. Yeah, that's what we like to see. He does Heavy Slam. Okay, that hurts a lot. Shows lefties. I mean, we've seen lefties. For like 20% now. We are chipped. Do we live another poison turn? We don't live another poison turn if we switch here. Do we want to save? Yes. Torn is crucial to making sure we can beat Landorus later. So I am going to U-turn. Stays in. Could go for Heavy Slam or Body Press here. I believe our little turtle eats one of either, unless it's another crit. We also have Gouging. Gouging just baits in Amorous though, and definitely beats Cinderace, so I'm okay with going to Trap here. I assume we live. We may not. If we don't, it's okay. Does Body Press, calls the switch. Big damage. I think an Earth Power KOs here, but I can't say for sure. This thing has been as annoying as Goodra it normally is. So no big surprises there. I could also Starstorm for just some kind of damage. It won't KO, but it also doesn't let Landorus come in for free. And it keeps this low. Okay, he does stay in. He would have sacked it. Which is a little unfortunate, but I also don't want to give anything to an Amorous. That's just body press again, that's fine. Yeah, I didn't want to let an Amorous have any free setup turns, honestly. Luckily, this thing was not gooey. Gooey would have been a little awkward to deal with. So now I can probably go Gouging and just click Flare Blitz. And then that baits in Landorus. I could go Ogerpon, Low Kick. And that means we get to claim one of an Amorous Cinder Ace. Yeah, I don't hate the Ogerpon play. Keeps our sturdy intact. So we'll just let me press the button, please. Thank you. Low kick. There's no good way for him to punish this play unless he's like Helmet Cinderace or Helmet and Amorous. Okay. Take out the Goodra. Very good game so far. Had a lot of fun, honestly. So anything that comes in dies to a Cudgel, unless it's a Tera Cinder, or sorry, not Tera Cinder, but like he Liberos out of it, Fire type. But even then, what would he become? Fighting? Hit me with a high jump kick? So I could definitely be Spiky Shield. And I'm also one Swords Dance away from winning with Ogerpon, but I guess there is non-zero chance an Amorous is Scarfed. Let me see. Cinderace into Ogre. Yeah, I could Pyro, could U-turn. I think I Trailblaze. Take my chip, and whatever he clicks, Gonks becomes a poison type. Lands. Big damage. No poison. Trailblaze. Minimal damage from the Trailblaze. Is now a poison type. Cudgel should still KO. Are you Sucker Punch? You're not Sucker Punch. Oh, big crit. I don't think it mattered. It said it's doing 77 to 91. If he was bulk, it might have mattered. I think we win. I think Cudgel cleans from here, unless Enamorous is Sash or Rockberry. Yeah, Cudgel actually could KO this through Rockberry too. If he got the Gunk Poison, then I would have dropped this turn, and he could have sacked Landorus instead, and had Enamorous into Torn plus Gouging Fire, which means if he's Scarfed, he can Earth Power win. If he's not Scarfed, he could still technically win, yeah. So maybe the crit mattered. We do smack an Amorous with a Cudgel, knock it out. And I believe that's the game. I can't believe it. I think we're in top 4 now in a league where we didn't make the team. Maybe I should just let people do the drafting for me from now on, because this is the best I've performed in a tournament in a hot minute. It's not even a team I made, which is a little bit depressing. I will just smack this with a Trailblaze for the game. Oh my gosh, we did it. We won again. The crit may or may not have mattered. I need to check with him after the game, but GG's Trey, and with that we are on to the top 4. This is gonna actually be a YouTube series. You guys get to hear me whine in the first bracket match. I feel so bad because I was just crying over a little bit of bad luck that ended up getting turned around. Regardless, if you enjoyed, please, if you made it this far, leave a like. Really good games and more games yet to come, and at least one more. And yeah, we will see you next time. Hello and welcome back to top 4 of the NBBL. This is where the money could really come into play, because top 3 earn a chunk of change, and top 2 earns a lot more than fighting for 3rd, which, you know, at the end of the day, we're in this for fun. We're not really in it for the money. The money's just a nice incentive, and feels a little nicer since we actually didn't buy in either since we took the team. But our opponent is another person, I believe, that is a substitute that didn't buy in either, and they took up a random team. So really cool to kind of see this swing around kind of full circle. I will probably maybe throw a picture. I'm just going to say the team out loud just in case I don't put a picture on this. But he has Meowscarada, who we've seen a couple of times now, Garchomp, Primarina, and then 3 Tera captains in Arcanine, Magnezone, and Mesprit. And then Glimmora, who we've seen a couple times now, and the Drifblim to kind of round everything out. And when I first loaded up this team, when I was first building, I was like, this team is a lot weaker than some of the ones that I've played against before. But the more I've tried to build against it, that's a blatant lie. This is maybe the strongest team I've went up against just because of how many options my opponent has for setup versus breaking power versus utility. And pretty much every one of their Pokemon has the way to either set up or just break out the gut. And switching in on any of them could just lose me a Pokemon and lose me the game. So very scary. Tera Steel Mesprit is something I'm particularly worried about because most of my steel coverage is ground. So that would be pretty tough to deal with. Magnezone with an Iron Defense Body Press set is very threatening. And then obviously my opponent probably likes the Scale Shot Sword Stance Garchomp. That's also very threatening to me. So I'm going to go over what I'm bringing, just kind of give a little more insight. And it wasn't a 20-minute build this time. I actually put a little bit of thought into it. Started yesterday, finish it up today. We've got the special Gliscor again. This is to get around Glimora's Toxic Debris ability. And one-shot it with the investment we have if it's no investment, or at least show us that it's Sash. That way it can't surprise us with any items. And then just the standard Toxic Protect Stealth Rock. The problem with this set is it could potentially get 1v1 by a substitute Garchomp. But we're just going to not talk that set into existence. Next up, we've got the Ogerpon. It's not 3 grass moves. Ivy Cudgel is rock. Woodhammer is really nice into Primarina, and any Teras that any Teras that may want to take an Ivy Cudgel don't want to take a Woodhammer. And then Subseed is just really good. The only things that really get around it are Meowscarada's Triple Axle, which we are running the same EV spread we ran a little while back, where we eat the first Triple Axle guaranteed as long as it's not a boosting item, even if it's adamant. And then, so it has to hit us with 2, and then the third one doesn't KO us, and we KO back with Ivy Cudgel. So I do like this set quite a bit. And then Scale Shot Garchomp kind of gets around it if it sets up, and then Hyper Voice, Liquid Voice Primarina also gets around it. So a few things. It's not as good as it was in the other matchup, but it's still decent in my opinion. This is probably my favorite set I'm bringing this week, or one of the 2. Clear Amulet Gouging Fire means we can't get intimidated by an Arcanine trying to switch in on us. And then it means Strength Sap on Drifblim doesn't reduce our attack. So really big fan of that. Breaking Swipe helps us 1v1 all of his physical attackers. And Earthquake is just there as good secondary coverage into things like Primarina. So I do like this set a lot. It's pretty specially bulky, but also like max attack so that we can knock things out at +1. And do a lot of work, hopefully, in the mid-game breaking. Next up, my other favorite set of the week is Life Orb Metagross once again with agility. No sub this time, and we're physical, but Heavy Slam, Ice Punch, Earthquake just absolutely tears through this entire enemy team. Clear body, we don't want to make ourselves lighter if we're running Heavy Slam, and then we avoid Intimidate that way, so pretty cool. We've got the Terapagos. Boots, kind of just an anti-Garchomp sweep Pokemon. Toxic for all his bulk, and Tera Starstorm is good coverage. This is probably our most standard set this week. And finally, we've got Tera Electric, AV Torn, Tera Blast, Bleak Wind, Heat Wave, Icy Wind is just really solid coverage for his entire team. I wanted to run Taunt, but AV is just makes us so much more reliable into Primarina and Magnezone. I didn't really see a reason not to run it and just have Heat Wave as decent coverage. So that's the squad. We're going to get loaded up against our opponent, and we will see you there. All right, and we are back, and our opponent is Tera Flying Magnezone and Tera Steel Arcanine, which means they did not bring Mesprit, which is a kind of a sigh of relief, but I don't know what to make of these other Teras. We do see the Drifblim, we do see Glimmora. Who's not here? Oh my gosh, there's no Garchomp. Well, that frees up Terapagos a lot. because its whole job was to help us deal with that. Tera Steel Arcanine completely walls Terapagos, the set we brought, because we don't have Earth Power. He doesn't know that. Tera Flying Magnezone. What is that for? That doesn't help him at all against Tornadus, and that is our kind of dedicated lead, is to just get our Tera up as soon as possible. No Garchomp, so Garchomp can't lead now, which is nice. That Arcanine's really going to be the X factor, huh? With the Tera Steel. I think we do one-shot it with like Metagross and Gouging Fire at +1, normal Metagross, but if it's bulky, we may not. I'm kind of wishing I ran Earth Power on Terapagos now. But regardless, good luck, have fun to our opponent Dex, who also inherited their team, which I said earlier. Really excited for this game. And honestly, we don't really deserve to be this far. We've gotten luck in at least 2 games that have put us in the position we're in and didn't eliminate us way long time ago. So if we lose, we lose, and it's okay. But if we win, we're feeling pretty good. Meowscarada is the lead of choice. I lead Torn. If it's banded, Triple Axle is a roll if I'm terrassalized. Otherwise, this is a pretty safe Tera Icy Wind. Icy Wind kind of catches anything coming in. Except Primarina, I guess, but it also makes this slower than me on the following turn, so I can more easily like switch or do whatever. So I do like just going ahead, getting my Tera up, and popping Icy Wind. I know it's not as good because my opponent doesn't have Garchomp, but that's okay. So Tera Electric, I went around with Torn Tera quite a bit, but then the first one I landed on was Electric. Changed it a couple times, and then one of the kitchens said, in a vacuum, I didn't tell him my plan, said Tera Electric looks really good here. So it is U-turn, it is... So does it do over half? It does not do over half, not banded. Okay. I need to get my battle notes up. So, Meowscarada Primarina. I could have Tera Blasted. Magnezone. Arcanine. Okay, Magnezone is the switch in. This is our answer to Magnezone, though. Obviously could Tera Flying here. We are at 230, but it doesn't one-shot us with anything. So I don't feel awful going for a Heat Wave here. I don't know if we can learn anything from that Icy Wind. Yeah, Specs from Tera Flying. Yeah, definitely not. Actually, a raw Tera Blast would do more. But Heat Wave should do a good chunk here, unless he's AV. So I'm okay with just clicking that. We will weaken ourselves early. It is AV, it looks like. And it does Volt. And that Volt does quite a bit. I think that's analytic. Alright, so we'll get a free switch back into something else. We are chipped, but one regenerator switch and we're feeling alright. So we know that Magnezone is at like 50%. Item is probably AV, or it's just max Fidef. It's Volt. Meowth comes back in. And this is not banned. I don't think. We can hope. And it is U-turn, so it makes me think maybe it's Scarf. I could definitely click the triple axle here. I'm willing to risk Gliscor. What is Gliscor here for? It helps with Magnezone. And it beats Glimmora. And it toxics things. Honestly, I'm okay giving up Gliscor. If it clicks triple axle, that's okay with me. This is how I play with Gliscor. I just throw it away. And if it happens to live, it lives. Okay, Flower Trick comes out. I don't think this two-shots us. We're not very Fizz-Def, though. Let's see. Yep, it doesn't quite two-shot us, which is nice. I can protect to see if it's choiced. Let me see. Meowscarada, Choice Scarf, triple... Okay, yeah, that's triple axle. Actually, Flower Trick should have done more if it's Scarf. Oh, no, I'm looking at Torn, sorry. Gliscor. I see only my custom sets, please. Yeah, that's like scarfed or otherwise. I mean, I could protect, but I also could stealth rock. I could protect. I do think it would be scarfed in this matchup. Protect is safer. Shows me Taxel and makes them have to rethink what they're going to click. I'm going to try to get up rocks. I'm going to be aggressive. Okay, it is Scarf. Cool. And Prima is the switch in, which is fine with me. I'm just going to get a Toxic on this guy. Not playing games with the Primarina. I know it KOs me, but the problem is I don't really have a good switch into it regardless, and putting it on a timer is going to be very helpful. And I don't know that it clicks Water Move here. It might click like Sub or Calm Mind. So we're just going to go for the Toxic. Nice, and we do land. Don't be Lumberry, please. Not Lum. Hyper Voice. Okay, it is Liquid Voice, Water Move. Does 230 to me. Do we learn anything from that, or is that always going to do 230? Marina AV. Hyper Voice. Ability Liquid Voice. Sorry if you can hear my dog snoring. No, that is two-shotting us if this is a banded Primarina, so... or that is, like, KOing us from that range. The question is, what do we go into to take advantage of this? We can Tera Blast with Torn. A lot of T's. Which isn't horrible. We have our Terapagos that we could spin up with and get some speed going, but I do like saving the spin. Metagross... probably one-shots. Hyper Voice really hurts back. And then Gouging Fire is not it. Also, Ogerpon should KO this, right? Ogerpon Woodhammer seems to KO. Yeah, I like the Ogerpon play, I think. I don't know if you want me to sub. Now, if I sub, do you KO me? It's the next question. Choice... not Choice Band. That was a joke. Choice Specs does not KO me. So I can go for sub here safely, even if it is Specs. And I think we could see like a Meowscarada switch in. Could see a Glamora. We do have Leech Seed to help us wear things down. What have we learned? We learned that Primarina is Hyper Voice, and I still haven't wrote down the other two Pokemon on the other side. It is Glamora and Drifblim. Okay, so they do stay in. Are you Rindoberry? Okay, yeah, that does like nothing. So I'm guessing you're... oh, you're not Rindoberry. Okay, so you're just not scared of Woodhammer then. So this Woodhammer will KO you. If your max is death, maybe not. But you would have to be like bold. So I'm just going to click Woodhammer. Okay, so it looks like we gave up Gliscor for nothing. Yep, goodbye. This will hurt us, of course, but it's okay. Oh, okay, we barely lived. That's kind of funny. So the Meowscarada tech is not very useful anymore. Meows is the switch of choice. Okay, Primarina is gone, which honestly one of the bigger threats on the team. Our Gliscor is gone. I assume this triple Axles. I am going to Cudgel, playing for an Axle miss. So the first one should not break sub. I've EV'd it specifically to not. Yep. Second one will break sub, and now... are you going to miss? That was the hope. Okay, no, that's fine. So Meows clicks triple Axle. Is a Ice type. So our switch in, Metagross is a pretty easy switch in. I assume this Meowscarada outspeeds us at +2. Arcanine can come in here, but Tera Steel we threaten either way with Earthquake. Gouging Fire could come in. How much does it take? Almost half, which is kind of crazy. Terapagos is another option, but I think I'm willing to go ahead and go Metagross. This is as good an opportunity as we're going to get our agility up. I think worst case, Magnezone comes in here. I am just going to click agility. How much does Heavy Slam do to Magnezone, actually? Okay, it's Arcanine. Heavy Slam does enough. So we'll click agility. I didn't see a balloon, but I wasn't paying attention. So Earthquake is set to always KO this. And it is leftovers, which is great. And it is still Tera. Right? Yep, it is still Tera. So I am just going to click Earthquake. And it will drop to Life Orb. It did not drop to Life Orb. That is a very bulky Arcanine. It burns me, but that's okay. Wow, how bulky is that? That's way more than max health. Oh, okay. That was a roll, unfortunately. If it's at 75%, well, actually it was at like 81%, right? Oh, okay. If it's max, that was a roll heavily in my opponent's favor. But if it was anything less, then we got scammed. So we are now burned. Heavy Slam looks like it does not KO, so I do have to click Earthquake again. Arcanine does switch. I could have Heavy Slammed or Agility'd. Drifblim comes in, which is fine with me because this is what I actually want to set up with, or set up against. So Drifblim, we're not doing that much damage to. I kind of like switching the Gouging Fire here because I feel like my opponent may defog. So now, little unfortunate. Arcanine is at like 15%, we'll say. Leftovers. Prima's gone. We haven't seen Glimora yet, and then this is at like 75%. Meowth is at like 88. Does Calm Mind, which is okay. I think I'm EV to always live 2 Shadow Balls. So I can DD once. Oh, it's Thunderwave. Okay. I was expecting Thunderwave Mesprit. I was not expecting Thunderwave on the Drifblim. Okay, so we're paralyzed now. So our odds of sweeping are very low now with all the status. It is a +1. It does 2-shot with Hex here. So I'm just going to go for Chip where I can get it. Sprint Sap will not lower my attack, but this is a toxic set. It will heal it the same every time. I'm fully paralyzed, which is great. You'd love to see that. So now I get Hex, and I will probably get fully paralyzed again, and not get any chip on it, but it is what it is. It's Air Slash. Okay, it's not Hex. Which makes sense, because Mono Hex into Drifblim, or into Terapagos is just asking to lose. We'll Breaking Swap again. I'm trying to keep this as healthy as possible, so even if it's paralyzed, it can still threaten some damage. Air Slash misses, so kind of makes up for the para. We will KO Drifblim. Now, I think Meowth can come in. Arcanine can maybe come in and heal. If Arcanine comes in, I start Dragon Dancing. Glimora can come in and hit me with like a Meteor Beam. So I guess I could have ran Special Metagross. A little bit of a misplay. Actually, Drifblim didn't defog, so Arcanine's now can't switch in. So it has to be Meowth or Glimora. We lost Ogerpon. So our 2 sweeping Pokemon are statused. not fantastic. Glimora will take rocks. I don't want to hit this. Gouging Fire is still okay into Meowscarada, can get one hit off. Still potentially lives a hit from Magnezone. So I'm almost okay going meta here. Meta can't really agility on anything. It's slower than everything. I don't have priority. I am okay with either giving it up or going Tornadus, but I don't want Tornadus to get killed by like a random meteor beam. So we'll just go into meta. Driploom's gone, so now we can spin for free with Terapagos, and Tera Blast actually looks very free outside of the Magnezone that's probably threatened to Tera in front of us. So I think that's our win con, as much as it wasn't meant to be. We do see Power Gem come out. It's fine with me. I have to imagine this KOs me with Earth Power. It does, but I will click Heavy Slam here, just in case it decides it wants to not KO me for whatever reason. Maybe to get a T-Spike up. Does switch, so we will get a Heavy Slam on something. Arcanine. Okay, never mind. Arcanine just comes in and sacks itself. I could have agility'd and then I would be faster than Magnezone and Glimora, but I think Meowth is probably going to just come in here, which is fine. Slam does nothing. So technical KO for Gliscor, so good job Gliscor. That is gone. So now we have an AV Magnezone, a seemingly scarfed Meowscarada, and a Glimora that we don't know much about, except that it's Power Gem. So Meows will knock me out here. This Metagross is never getting off the ground, I don't think, unless that Glim didn't have a ground move. The way he played it makes me think it may not. I would almost like to give up Gouging here, but I also kind of want to go into it after Metagross goes down, because I think Knock is the easiest play for my opponent here. I don't have Bullet Punch, unfortunately, so we'll just click Heavy Slam. Does Knock. Okay, so we know the full moveset. So we know it's a Dark type now as well. Gouging Fire. Knock is doing a decent chunk to us, and Breaking Swipe is doing about half back. Breaking Swipe puts us in really good position to regen Torn back up or get Terapagos set up. We'll just go into this. We'll Breaking Swipe. I think we may live 2 knocks. I actually doubt it, because it'll do 140, and then if we don't have an item, it'll do 80 to 90. Okay, so there's a chance we live 2 knocks. Not the end of the world. All thanks to that Air Slash miss, by the way. Glim definitely could come in here, or Magnezone actually. Either's very safe. I could have clicked Earthquake. I didn't, just because I kind of thought my opponent would knock for free. Glim does take rocks damage. We do get a Breaking Swipe. We do activate the Toxic, whatever. Yep, Toxic Debris, but it's fine because we only have 2 Pokemon left anyway. So we're in a position where Torn actually looks really good into this in-game too. It should maybe win. I will just click EQ here. They could double back into Meowscarada, I suppose, but then they're just letting me weaken everything for Torn. Power Gem comes out, this should KO me, I imagine. It does KO me. So now I think I want to get Terapagos in and spin up. Nothing to block it, luckily. That was a really annoying thing in prep. I think a lot of the people we played against haven't had a Ghost type, so I've been able to run spin relatively for free. And this opponent happened to be the first that had Ghost that I thought had a really good matchup into us. So we'll just spin. Magnezone is kind of the easy answer here for my opponent, I think, but they do have to fear the Earth Power. They don't switch, and we are faster, so this is a slow Glimora. We get the T-Spikes, but then we get rid of them. And they're gonna hit me, probably, oh, they Mortal Spin to poison me. Okay, every Glimmora we played against has done that exact thing. So, Terapagos into a Glimmora. Is this a V Glimmora? The way it's acting makes me think it might be. I guess I should have clicked EQ with, So are we faster than Scarf Meows at +2 is the next question. We are faster than Meows at +2, so I am kind of willing to spin here in hopes that we live a Power Gem, which is looking like it's doing like 40%. And then take this out with the following Tera Starstorm. Yeah. We set up the T-Spikes just to get rid of them. Very funny. It does Power Gem. Seeing this do 30 to 40. What? That did so much. And we do live 2 more hits, so that's a plus. We'll Starstorm. It should guaranteed KO. Okay, it's not AV Glimmora. I was holding my breath because like Spadef AV would have KO'd me, but that had to be modest based on the damage. Magnezone likely switching here. I might have to make a play and go for an Ice Beam on the Magnezone. All we need is enough damage on the Magnezone for Torn to beat it and then KO Meowscarada. So Tera Starstorm should do not quite a third because this is AV. It doesn't want to Tera Flying because then Tornadus, like it has to play the game with Tornadus on whether or not it's going to Tera. So I think Starstorm is my best bet. It is the most damage I can get regardless. I actually think a Tera here would be a throw because next turn I have to pick between Heat Wave and Tera Blast. Now the next question is, okay, maybe not a throw, but it did Tera. Could have clicked Ice Beam. Actually, they do the same damage, so Tera Blast was definitely the right play. It's AV no bulk, then this gets it very, very low. So we see the Tera Blast come out. It kills it. What? That wasn't a crit, right? Oh, it's... Does Tera Starstorm do more damage to... No? And we live on 3. We're faster than max speed Scarf Meowscarada. Oh, wait, this thing is way more healthy than I thought. And... yeah, he Mortal Spin the rocks away. Ice Beam does a tiny bit more. We are guaranteed faster. So I will just click Ice Beam. we KO Meowscarada and we win the game. Oh my gosh, how did that kill? I'm so confused. I'm looking at my Terapagos set and Magnezone Zero Bulk AV should have lived that Tera Blast. And then it comes down to Tornadus definitely comes in, definitely KOs Magnezone. And then we would have had to hit... we would have had to hit a Bleak Wind to win the game against Meowscarada. And if it locked into... yeah, it couldn't have KO'd me, though, actually. Triple Axle does... the math is weird. Does like 200 max. So I would have had to have called what the Meowscarada... actually, no, it would have had to lock into something to KO. Okay, I don't know. Regardless, we won, and we made it to the finals, which means we are guaranteed some kind of money from this tournament, which is crazy. And we're top 2 with a team we didn't build. And I feel like that game, maybe there wasn't a lot of luck involved. Maybe there was. I'm not sure. I need to talk to him about the Magnezone set because I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked that it did not live that Tera Starstorm. So anyway, thank you for watching. We got one more game coming up and we will see you there. Hello and welcome to the finals of the NBBL Summer Brawlfest. I'm Zand, as you probably well know at this point. I think it's gonna be like a 4-hour video, but if you skip to the finals, congratulations and welcome. This is the part of the video that's now gonna be spoiler free, because you and I both have no idea if I win this battle, because it hasn't happened yet. Here's our team. Let's go over it. Let's go over the team real quick. I'm pretty proud of this one. I actually spent a little bit of time, which may mean that I just lose outright because I actually thought about it. And let me know what you think of the new, what is it, like green screen or like smart clipping, so there's no background. I don't have an arm sometimes, but you know, that's okay. We're working out the kinks. So here's what we're bringing today. We have the stab only Metagross with Choice Scarf. This Choice Scarf lets us outrun a lot of things. One of those being a a non-scarfed Dragapult that's just creeping Tornadus. Some other things maybe. Definitely outruns Zarude and Jumpluff. The main idea with this is not to stay scarfed necessarily. We want to trick the scarf away as fast as possible. Hopefully onto Alomomola or Dudunsparce or even Glimmora is totally fine with me. But we want to give our scarf away, and that way we can lock something in. Really, the target is Alomomola. Other than that, the Scarfed Heavy Slam actually looks really good here outside of said fish. And then we have Bullet Punch, just because it's always nice to have priority in the back. And Psychic Noise gives us a way to get around setting T-Spikes with Glimmora. It lets us stop things from Wish Healing for free. It just hits things on the special side that might be trying to set up physically against us, and works better than Heavy Slam. I'll skip a little bit. We've got the Ogerpon. I'm all over the place with this. Apologies. I know this is not exactly finals level content. Ogerpon is our dedicated lead. We've got Sturdy, of course. We've got the Cudgel as our only attacking move. Spiky Shield is really good to scout Scarves and scout what our opponent is trying to do turn 1. And then I really like Protect and Encore on the same set where I can fit it. And our opponent has 0 rock resist. So there's no better time to have room for that. I also really like hazards, and they help us a lot with rolls on some of our Pokemon. So I am running Spikes as well. I do think Spikes are really nice here. I would have preferred Stealth Rock, honestly, to hit the Landorus, but Spikes are the next best thing, you know? They're really good at chipping things down, and then Encore prevents things from setting up, particularly the Zarude, but also anything else that's trying to set up, like the Dudunsparce. I don't know that we're going to save this past the lead, but keeping an Encore in our pocket might be nice for the later game. I'll just show you. This here is indeed the Metagross, and then we will move on from there. We've got Gliscor, but it is not our defensive Gliscor. It is actually offensive this week. Pretty much max speed, max attack. I just love that the set takes advantage of Landorus so well. It makes it really hard for Landorus to beat us 1v1, and if we can get +1 speed, we outrun the Dragapult, and we also outrun Scarf Landorus with this set. We are really, really speedy. Facade and Earthquake, especially at +2, just absolutely wreak havoc on this team. Obviously, we want Alomomola to be weakened, but Alomomola is not really doing that much back to us. Even if it runs Ice Beam, it's not the end of the world. It does 2-shot us, but only barely. And if we're at +2, then Facade and Earthquake have a pretty good chance of maybe 2-shotting it, depending on investment, of course. Next up, we've got Gouging Fire. We have the Booster Energy. This is an item I haven't used that much, but I feel like it's really good here. Gives us instant speed. This is meant to be an early game breaker. Really lets us get faster than Dragapult immediately, and then we're really bulky. We have it so that our subs are 101 HP. Just really helps us deal with things like Alomomola. We can live hits from Scizor. We can even live some unboosted hits from Dudunsparce if it's more of a support set, and we can sub to get around its Glare. So I like that a lot. +1 attack, +2 sort of speed. It's actually better, I think. Whatever, +1 speed and booster speed. Really nice in this matchup. Lets us outrun all the way up to Scarf Dragapult, so we got nothing to worry about if we get boosted up. And Heat Crash and Dragon Claw are just our best coverage. I was between Dragon Claw and Breaking Swipe, but Dragon Claw really helps us at +1 because we're only a little bit of attack investment so that we can get the speed booster. Dragon Claw is just better into things like Glimmora. It helps us chip it down a little easier. We've got the Terapagos. I was so stuck on this 4th move. It ended up being Calm Mind, but Terra Starstorm, Dark Pulse, Rapid Spin, all those make perfect sense on this set. The last move could have been Earth Power for Glimmora, it could have been Flamethrower for Scizor, it could have been Ice Beam for Landorus. Obviously, we can't fit all of those, and at the end of the day, I'm okay with just clicking Starstorm, and I think our bigger threat is something like a Dudunsparce or a Zarude trying to set up on us, so getting the ability to boost ourselves so that at least we're not complete setup fodder is pretty nice. We've talked about the Ogerpon. Finally, our kingpin of this matchup is Life Orb Tornadus-T. I was going to run Specs, but I ended up really liking the ability to switch moves. If we can confirm Glimmora is not Choice Scarf, Tera Blast flying into Psychic always clears it. Tera Blast flying into Heat Wave always clears Scizor. And 2 Tera Blast flyings clears pretty much everything else. If it's Super Spadef Dunsparce, it has a chance to live too. But we just Tera Blast it, get out, come back in later when it's taken any other chip, and then we clean it up. So I think this set has a really good chance to run through the game. Obviously, something like an AV Alomomola is going to rain on our parade a little bit, but we can put consistent chip down. We don't actually take damage from the Life Orb thanks to Regenerator, and we can use the Scout later. Game plan. Lead Ogerpon, get at least 1 spike up, disrupt some things, maybe do a little damage. We've got Gouging Fire to break early. Along with Tornadus, we want to get Tera as soon as possible so we can be popping some big damage. Mid-game, we've got the Terapagos. If my opponent does manage to set up hazards, we want to get rid of Glimmora. And then once Glimora's gone, we spin hazards away. So that late game, we have access to Gliscor and maybe Metagross. Metagross is just going to be an as we need it kind of thing. So that's the hope. We've got a lot of threats here. We've got a lot of win conditions. I feel pretty good about this matchup, but I've said that in the past, and things happen. Luck happens, or our opponent just simply outplays us. We'll see what happens, and we will see you in the battle. All right, we're back. We're searching for opponent. I'm stressed. A lot of, well, not a lot of money on the line. Well, it depends on who you're talking to. It is money on the line, but there is already award money. So I'm not feeling bad either way. I didn't really deserve to get here because I hacked the crap out of people multiple times. We do see the done. Nice, it's exactly what I expected. No Jumpluff, no Alomomola. Okay, cool. I didn't really think he wanted to bring Alomomola into all of my potential setup. It makes sense. It's a little worse for me actually because I wanted to be able to set up on Alomomola a little easier, but I get it. Ogerpon is a pretty obvious lead. I don't think I'm going to kind of mind game anything though. Our opponent, I should say, is BrotherYubby. I don't know if I uploaded the video I recorded, but I'm pretty sure I said yuppie before, and I apologize because I know that word has like negative connotation. But our opponent is BrotherYubby. Beat 6-foot hacks to get here, which is someone I've watched for forever and honestly was hoping to play against. But hey, I can't complain. I'm in finals, and we're gonna have a great time either way. I'm excited to get to show off these sets and maybe win, maybe lose, but have a good time either way. So yeah, our opponent is still thinking on lead. Makes me think no dedicated lead, no dedicated Glimmora. That is a rude, like the Dada form, I think is what it's called. I have no idea if it can be any different, but I do know that it is Tera Dark. Which makes knockoffs have 0 switch-ins on my team. Which is fine. It makes me lean toward it maybe being Scarf instead of, I mean, anything else, right? But we'll see. Good luck. Once again, have fun, my opponent. Hopefully no hacks this game. I want to see 0 hacks on either side. I don't care if it's a money match or what. Do you see Dragapult is the lead, which is a good lead. This has a small chance to knock us out if it's Adamant Band. Otherwise, it never knocks us out. We're not going to find out turn 1 because I'm going to Spiky Shield. And we're going to learn as much as we can. We're going to save you U-turns. Because every chip... Okay, Will-O-Wisp. Okay, good to know. It is Willow-Pult, which makes me think it's Special X Dragapult. Or mixed with Dragon Darts. Willow is a really good lead for him. Because it does catch Gliscor as well. It prevents me from leading hazards there. I don't really have a good switch in for this. Gouging Fire can switch in, but I don't really want to eat a dragon move to the face. Do I be ballsy? Do I think he's gonna Willow again? I could do it. I could do it. I could risk the whole the whole tournament on a round 2 completely unnecessary play because I don't really want Ogre getting burned if we can help it. And it's pretty safe for him to click Willow because we are not faster by default normally on Gouging. So let's see. He subs. Okay, that's a good play. Are you special, though? So we're faster than you. You are leftovers. Okay, that's good to know. Item, leftovers. Oop. And Gouging Fire, our special set into Dragapult. Let's just assume you're full special. But not specs, obviously. Draco is a roll on us. I can sub down so that Draco does not KO me. I don't know what that line is, though. Dragon Pulse. Shoot. Okay. Not even Draco. It's Infiltrator. I'm an idiot. I completely forgot. I expected Clear Body. I've been running too much Intimidate in other leagues. I'm so stupid. Okay, well, we're gonna pop sub and do not much else. That's a very unfortunate way to start this. Showing we live means it is max special attack, so it's probably the classic 252, 252. This is fine. It's not really what I wanted to happen. I should have just clicked Dragon Claw the first time. I fully expected it to not run Infiltrator, though, I'll be honest, because I don't really have screens. But I guess Clear Body, like, what reason did my opponent have to run Clear Body? Because I don't have Intimidate on this team. I've just been running too much Intimidate elsewhere. That's fine. Well played there. Gouging Fire didn't get to do anything. But because this is Dragon Pulse, and I assume Will-O-Wisp, or sorry, Will-O-Wisp, I assume Shadow Ball into, let me see. I mean, I can't bring Gliscor in on it because I don't have Protect. I can't bring Metagross in. I don't want Ogerpon to get burned. So I think Torn is my best bet. Terra Blast is going to do a huge chunk, and he doesn't two-shot me back unless he is Draco. So I don't mind going Torn here, going ahead, getting activated. Definitely not the start I wanted, but it's okay. I mean, we traded Gouging for nothing. That's a little disappointing. I should have just clicked Dragon Claw, but I really wanted to get smart with the Draco. But a Draco would have just one-shot me anyway. It's Infiltrator. I am not playing my best immediately, which is not a good way to lead off with finals. So we know it's Willow, sub, Dragon Pulse, and I'm assuming last move Hex. Just because Willow Hex, I mean, come on. Several things can come in here. Glimmora being the most obvious, but DIDN is also an option. We see Glimmora, makes perfect sense. I wonder if you're going to be Scarf. I'm a little nervous about the Scarf, because I was prepping for it before. We can see if you're bulky. If you're bulky, I think you're not going to be Scarf. This is the calc I probably ran the most, because I really wanted to try to make this two-shot Glimmora. Let's see. Should be doing somewhere like 45%. Yep, just enough. I can just click Psychic here. Power Gem threatens to KO me back if he's max special attack. What are the odds he runs Scarf? I don't think they're that high. I really kind of want to go Gliscor though, just in case. Power Gem does two-shot Gliscor, but Earthquake obviously knocks him out. I also have the Metagross that I can go into. I like the Metagross switch, actually. Opponent's really thinking about his moves. I mean, I could have clicked Psychic there, but I'm scared of Scarf, because Tornadus is infinitely more important now that we've lost Gouging Fire. It just set spikes. Okay, I could have clicked Psychic. That's fine. Metagross into Glimmora. Psynoise should KO. I can also trick it, but then it just gives it the Scarf I didn't want it to have to begin with. I'm just going to click Psynoise. I could have clicked Heavy Slam, I guess. This is really bad if he goes Zarude. So we hope he doesn't go Zarude here. I could have ran Flash Cannon on this as well, I guess, but Special didn't feel great, and Heavy Slam did a crazy amount of damage. Psynoise is obviously going to kind of bounce off a Pokemon like Scizor. But I do just want to go ahead and clear this if I can. I guess I could have just clicked Psychic. I psych myself out. I think I always do that in finals games. I have clear game plans and then I don't follow them. But that's okay. Because I think that was a safer play at the end of the day. We do get punished for it with getting spikes up. I don't think my opponent goes Zarude here. I think that would be a very bold play because Scarf Heavy Slam would two-shot. Okay, nice. Doesn't KO, unfortunately. He knows we're fast, may or may not know we're Scarfed. So that's Light Screen. That's interesting. Okay. So very supportive Glimmora, even though it's seem to be offensive. Max special attack, max speed. Spikes, light screen. So I kind of want to go Gliscor here. You know, it's kind of weird to switch around like this. I'm kind of trying to catch that Zarude as well. If we can smack it with a Facade here, that would be kind of cool. I assume Zarude comes in now. Yes, okay. The very scary Pokemon is in. Gliscor into Zarude. Power Whip two-shots me. Facade does about a third back. You can start setting up bulk ups. You can also just click knockoff if you wanted. I gotta remember light screen is up. Power Whip two-shotting me makes me a little nervous. Tera Dark. I don't know if there's any difference in Zarude and Zarude Dada, to be honest with you. Tera Dark Knock threatens to two-shot me. I think I can just go for some Facade damage here. We'll see what he's going for. It does immediately Tera. What do you want to do? You are a very scary Pokemon, my friend. Are you gonna bulk up? Are you gonna knock off? Okay, you are bulk up. So bulk up with light screen makes me think you might be Trailblaze as well, which makes me nervous. So we'll hit you with a Facade. It'll do next to no damage. A Trailblaze wins you the game, essentially. So I'm gonna try to switch in Metagross and get a Trick Up. Knowing my opponent could Trailblaze here. I could just get swept by Zarude, honestly. Like, I've played this early game so badly that I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised. Does Trailblaze, so he will outspeed me and be able to knock me off next turn. And it might just sweep, honestly, with that light screen up. Oh my gosh, that's so insane. I mean, I can Bullet Punch for the chip. It definitely clicks knock here. One turn of light screen left if it's not light play. Bullet Punch obviously not doing very much here. I think I have to try to catch it with Ogerpon one turn, or I need to try to spin with Terapagos. I will attempt to trick it a Choice Scarf. It should be faster than me. It is. Knock will KO me. That's okay. Zarude is a threat, man. Like, it's crazy how strong this thing is. So Terapagos into Zarude. Is light screen still up? Light screen is still up, so it is a light clay Glimora, which is crazy. I will go into Terapagos. This does allow me to spin. It's +1 Tera Dark knockoff, so we can't live 2, of course, because what could live 2? But I will be able to at least get spikes off the field. I should have just clicked Psychic on Glimora, and I wouldn't have been in this situation. But that's my bad. I made 2 balls Evo play, and then I reeled back immediately. I may not have enough pieces left, but I think as long as Tornadus is alive, there's a chance. And maybe that's bold of me to say. It does just click knock, makes perfect sense. See it. Should do... It's right at half, so that may very well be... Okay, it's a crit. I was like, that may very well be adamant. That makes me think it's like Spadef. We will just spin. And get rid of the spikes. That lets Ogerpon do something later in the game. What's more important between Gliscor and Terapagos with half health? Gliscor into a Dragapult that's special. X, but not Specs. Yeah, I think Gliscor is the better Pokemon. Do we have 2 turns left? Yeah, 2 turns left to Light Screen. I will just click Starstorm here. Trailblazes again. I mean, that's fine. That lets us get some more chip on you, which is nice. Starstorm does nothing. We'll just click it again. No reason to not give up. Terapagos at this point. Man, Tera's rude, huh? What a Pokemon. I thought I prepped for it pretty well, But turns out once it gets +1/+1 attack, defense, and speed, then what do we do? Ogerpon, I can Cudgel or I can Encore. I can obviously Spiky Shield and try to get some chip. I think I have to Encore it, honestly. Weird as it is. I was really thinking about this move, but I mean, there's not too many plays left to be made, I don't think. Okay, it does just click knock again. Totally fine. Wonder, the Trailblazer, he knows Terapagos, or he knows, I'm not, like, Scarf on our Tornadus. Yeah, Tornadus would not KO without Tera Dark. What was I calcing? Why did I get rid of that reset? Yeah. Ogerpon is +1/+1. Yeah, Cudgel's not even KOing, which is kind of crazy. Wonder what other move. Trailblaze, bulk up, knock off. Do you think it's jungle healing or do you think it's coverage? I'm gonna click Spiky Shield here. I know I already showed it off, but I do want to click it. I'm getting thoroughly outplayed though, and honestly, great job to my opponent for doing so. Really calling the switch, calling... well, infiltrative is just a mistake on my part, but setting up with Glimora, I think I should not have let that thing set up. I guess if I Psychic it, he kind of has his choice of what he wants to go into. This lives a Tera Blast with Tera. Is able to knock off to get rid of my Life Orb, do a lot of damage. He could have went into Dragapult after, although it doesn't really want to deal with Tornadus. So I got that Dunsparce in the back to worry about. Oh man, we've got a lot left to deal with. I'm gonna click this. I don't care if my opponent bulks up because the game is already, I have to get every player out at this point. Let's just click knockoff. We get the extra spiky chip, which is nice. I can click Cudgel here, go for some damage. I don't know if the connection's bad or if my opponent's really thinking through his moves. Cudgel here is doing 30 to 40 if he's not bulk invested. If he's max HP, it's doing more like 28, 34. So we're doing a good chunk here, and then my opponent gets to play Spiky Shield Mind Games after the fact. If he goes jungle healing, that's okay, because I think I can then Encore it, even though it's faster than me. So we'll see. I mean, knock makes sense. Yeah, goes ahead and hits me with the knock. Okay, I don't even get close to dying to that, so that means this guy is super bulky. Oh, did I crit? Okay. I sacked one too many Pokemon there. Oh no, I had to... No, what? Why did that not... Oh, +1 Tera Dark. I guess I just lived on Ogerpon, and I sacked Terapagos for no reason other than to secure my sturdy. I just assumed knockoff killed me at +1 if we're being honest here. Or that I didn't live. So, yeah. Oh, duh. Knockoff doesn't KO me. Oh, I guess it could have had coverage. You know what? I'm justifying that play in that it could have had some kind of coverage. Scizor comes in. Threatens me with a Bullet Punch. I kind of just want to go for a Spike. Nothing wants to take a Bullet Punch, but also if he Sword Stances here, it might just be game over if I don't get Chip. So I think I will just Cudgel. Because my opponent knows I could Spiky Shield. So that leads me to believe they want to Sword Stance. Because it's kind of a win-win, because I definitely don't KO a Scizor. Yeah. Okay, does not Bullet Punch. And we do two-hit KO. Okay, it does a U-turn, that's fine. So we don't get spikes up, but Scizor is at 50. The root is gone. We know nothing about most of his team. Landorus, or Dragapult's like 94%. Glimora is at like 60%. Scizor is 49%, let's say. Dunsparce is full health. Landorus is full health. We have a Gliscor and a Tornadus to win us this game. It makes me wish I had run Agility on Tornadus. So Didun comes in. I have to go Gliscor because I can't let Tornadus get status. I don't know that Ice Beam from this knocks me out in one. I don't think it does. Yeah, not even close. Unless it's like Spec. So I could Sword Stance. Oh, wait, I'm looking at Ogerpon. Let me make sure. Ice Beam does have a chance to KO me from full. Okay, then. That's cool. We are badly poisoned. Facade is doing some amount of damage. I mean, I just gotta go for it, I think. I've just got to Earthquake. Get some damage down field while I can. Let's see. Okay, it's not Fizz Death. It's Boom Burst. That's okay. Excuse me? Choice specs the Dunsparce. Oh, you got me so good. Oh, that's amazing. Boom Burst kills me for sure. Oh my gosh. You know what? If I'm losing to something, I'm happy to lose to Dunsparce. That's amazing. Holy crap, man. You got me good. You beat me. You absolutely destroyed me in finals, which, once again, I will say it every time. I didn't deserve to get this far. I hacked the crap out of at least one, maybe two people to get here. And I'm just happy to be here. So just being here at all, you know, it's fine. GG's Yubby. This was fantastic prep by you. I'm so impressed. And losing to the Dunsparce in probably one of my last tournaments of Scarlet Violet, the way I would want. GG's. So if we had Psychic earlier with Tornadus, he wouldn't have had free setup with Zarude, but we would have still had our work cut out for us because we know nothing about Landorus, nothing about Dragapult, and obviously the Dunsparce would have just decimated me. So I can't be mad. That was fantastic prep. GG's to Yuppie. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's going to be a long one, so I'm not going to be super long-winded with my outro. We do walk away with a little bit of prize money. We're going to give double the entry fee back to the person who drafted the team as a thank you for drafting such an amazing team and for showing me a good time. So a fifth of the prize money is going to them. Otherwise, we're going to do something with it toward Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next video that's hopefully not going to take me months